yeah, there it goes. Okay.
Drives me nuts.
All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We had a little hiccup when Larry tried to get all technically advanced, and we got bounced. But here we are. Here we are. I'm here with my good friend Larry. How you doing, bud?
What's up, pal? How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
I'm not ignoring you if you see me looking over you. I'm just trying to share this for you, and make sure people know we're on and stuff.
Yep. And I was sharing it as well. But you didn't know this, but I've been reaching out, and I got two of your good friends. And I know that I'll be seeing you all next month in Oregon.
Oh,
and I
boy.
wanted to chat about what you guys are doing and the various observations that you've made while you're doing this. And I wanted to chat with Joel about the genesis of this project that you guys have been going on around the country and all these seminars and stuff. So let's bring up Joel.
Let's
do that. Joel, looks like Jay ran off. He was afraid. I don't know where he went to. How you doing, Joel?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man.
I'm doing awesome, sonny boy. Just taking my Metamucil before I get ready for bed.
Hey, when we got to dinner, I always tell people the story. So we go out, all three. We go out almost every night, right? And
what
so
the?
Larry goes, the waitress will take his order, and then she'll take my order. And Larry goes, hey, you have to speak very slowly. You can't hear.
It is what it is, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't stop the aging train.
I know. Father Charles Barkley says it, man. Can't stop.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
What was the one where we were in the cab and like Joel got all excited because the dude was like, "Oh yeah, you must be younger," and he was so excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know how much you tipped. I don't know how much you tipped that guy.
Jay, that made my day for about 2 weeks at the time.
He was also playing music in that ride from the 40s, if you remember. Remember?
I do. It was like fucking suit.
Yeah. That dude was wild, man. He was cool for sure.
Yeah.
All right. How many? So people that don't know, these three. Here, I should go like this because it's backwards. You guys have been doing seminars. How many seminars? Do you know how many you've done now, you guys?
We're doing 6 a year for the first. Well, we're doing 6 a year for the first maybe 3 or 4 years, probably. So that would be 24, and then we've done. Actually, well, this now we're doing like I think 4 or 5. I don't know.
So going on 7 years, right? We've done quite a bit.
30,
so 150 seminars.
Like 30.
I can't count past 7, so it's more than that.
But we've got stories. Oh my gosh, we sit there, and we'll reminisce, man, and we do these things. We always have dinner every night and stuff together, and we just we like each other's company and stuff, and we'll just reminisce about from before and different things, and we have the same kind of personality and stuff like that.
Well, you guys got the same haircut. I know that.
Yeah.
That's age, bro.
Hey, Jay, I was thinking of this the other day, Jay. Do you grow hair on your face at all?
Not intentionally, but yeah, it'll happen, but I don't appreciate it. So I cut it off as fast as I can.
I don't know why I was thinking about it, because I have to shave like 6 times a day to keep it down, right? And I was thinking, I've never seen a stubble on Jay's face before, like ever, nothing. And I thought maybe
I shave probably every 3 days or so. Like I don't have a whole lot of testosterone, dude. I'm not that guy.
Gotcha. All right.
So I remember
we all know about my estrogen profile, so it's all set. Like
I'm catching up to you there, so don't worry. Mine's up in the air too. So.
Larry said that I basically have a vagina. That's what he told me, asshole. My testosterone was so low.
He says to everybody, Bob, just so you know.
So Larry posted about the first conference, IACP conference, and we'll talk about the IACP conference because you guys are going to be presenting at the one in August in Newport Beach, California. And so I thought it would be a good idea to have all three of you together and to start to discuss your experiences doing these seminars. But I want to start at the genesis of this program, of when it all began. Who started this? Whose idea was this?
Joel.
What happened was, I was trying to tell the story real quick. I'll tell in about 30 seconds. But we were all.
Joel, get closer to your microphone. You can't.
Well,
hear
I'm going to
you.
mute Jay. I'm going to mute you for a second because your road noise is coming through.
Okay. So what happened was we were speaking at the IACP conference, and we didn't. I didn't. I had never met Larry or Jay, and so we were speaking at the conference, and just got a chance to talk to these guys. And Larry, I watched some of his videos on YouTube, because in my certification courses I use this Rottweiler video that he does with the first session with a e-collar, which was because it's exactly the way I do it, And I was like, that's awesome, And so so I wanted to talk to him, and then Jay Amy Sadler had introduced me to Jay. They were just finishing lunch, and I just was like, I sat down with them and I talked to them, and we started talking, and I think we talked like 3 or 4 times, but he was just really interesting. I mean, it was just like he told me briefly what he did, which I thought was very unique, back then, the redirection using, play and stuff like that. And so, anyway, so what happened was Larry and I did our first one. We did one in Tucson, these in Tucson. And then after the Tucson one, I asked Larry, I said, hey, Jay, I think he'd actually add something, to this. And he goes, yeah, let's just, give it a try. So we did, in January, we tried St. Louis in January. That was the very first one we did. It was during COVID and everything. Everybody's wearing masks and everything like that stuff. So, and then that's kind of the way it went. We just kind of did it like that. But when I came back to the IACP conference, and I didn't know these guys really well. And I told my wife, I said, I'm going to do something with these guys. I want to do like something with these guys. And so that's kind of how it happened.
Cool. I remember meeting you. I met you, Joel, back in 2010 in Austin at it was Triple Crown Training Academy, which is.
Oh, I spoke at the IACP conference back then. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that when I did a live stream with Joel, and I've done a live stream individually with each one of these men. So, but together, I wanted to just kind of get into some stories and maybe what are you guys going to be talking about? If are you and some of the issues. So each one of you come together as a triad, like together, but you split off. Like, can you talk to me about how does the structure of this event work? And
when we start off, right, we each speak a little bit, letting people know what to expect, what we're going to see all weekend. And then we take turns, and we gotten into a routine where Jay starts off. He goes really deep into his stuff, layered stress model, goes into his windows. And then I come in after that and kind of piggyback off of that. And I wind up jumping right into the whole punishment versus negative reinforcement stuff really deep, because it piggybacks off of everything Jay does. So we go for an hour and a half apiece. Then Joel comes in after us, and we take turns throughout the day, right? But now at night, when we go to dinner, when we get back from dinner, 7:30, then when we come back, it's less formal and it's kind of a free-for-all. I'm in one corner, Joel's in one corner, Jay's in another. And that's where some of the best training happens, because people loosen up. Listen, I didn't think we'd talk about this till the conference, but like, it was kind of brilliant what Joel put together here. How he picked us to, I don't understand it, but it works. But just recently we found out Joel does something now with special needs people, where he's teaching them to train dogs. And then I realized after 6 years, me and Jay were just a practice run for that. Joel was just, that's all that was, He made me think. I saw what he was doing. I was like, wait a second, are we like we practice for this or what? So that's it in a nutshell, man. Anything to respond to that, Jay? I got you unmuted. You just have road noise, so I'll mute you every once in a while.
That's all right. No, nothing crazy. Although it does seem like we were the pilot program for the special needs group. So, but now it makes a little more sense how he picked us. I think you should let them talk about the first time Joel saw me present, because he didn't know me at all. We spoke once or twice, but he'd never seen me teach. So when he how he selected us, I do not know, and I'm curious to know what the hell was going through his head the first time he watched me do my thing.
Well, I watched him watch you, and his face said it all, because I'm pretty sure that's also the one where he had the elderly lady bent over, holding her by the belt, smacking her in the ass and getting her to jump forward. That was
Jay
his
did?
demonstration to something that he was doing with the dog, and he demonstrated on this older woman who loved every single minute of it.
I was gonna say.
Joel was sitting there like didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and everyone in the audience is in tears. So
oh my God, it was hilarious.
that's for sure. So we've had more laughs during. Listen, we all do seminars on our own, right? But this whole thing has become like this cult following because it's very different. Like it really is a good vibe.
That same seminar, that's where the lady brought that toy, like the tug toy, but looked like a sex toy.
And Jay took it and started smacking himself in the face with it, going like, and I thought Joel was going to have a heart attack.
Oh my God. Because when I lose it, you guys, I'm like, they know I'm on the ground, man. I just like, yeah.
So any thoughts about the first time you saw Jay teaching, Joe?
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, literally, like probably the first couple minutes, I'm like going, listen, I'm not going, that's a lot of F-bombs, man. It's like, a lot of F-bombs. So it's like, wow. But you know what? The truth is, it's a God's honest truth. And I tell people the same story. It doesn't matter because the dude has got so much game and so much substance and so much great information. It doesn't matter, and
it doesn't ruffle feathers.
Never has.
When Jay says stuff the way he does in the cursing, people aren't fazed. If I said the same thing, it wouldn't go over well.
No,
right?
It's just
who he is, and it's natural, and it's no bad intentions behind it. And I literally was reading a study lately, right? And I forgot to tell you about this, Jay. I was reading a study lately where it talked about people who use a lot of curse words, a lot of vulgar language in their thing. The people they're talking to have elevated dopamine in the conversation. Like it was kind of wild, this study. I meant to send it to you, Jay, because I was like, man, they must be watching you for a while now.
Well, and Jay, I know you, and one thing that I love about you, man, is one, your authenticity, and two, I don't know if you guys are fans of Jordan Peterson. I mean, it goes either way, but he talks about the benefits of being a strong man. And being a strong man doesn't mean that you are complacent. It means that there's a dangerous aspect to you. And the fact that Jay is a fighter and can probably take all three of us. I don't know. Maybe. I know he could take, but that he has the ability to turn that on, but he chooses a way of communication that keeps him out of that space. And I think that has made him probably one of the most eloquent people I've ever met. Even though he does drop a lot of F-bombs, he does get his point across, and
yes, very well too.
Yes,
very well.
And so, Jay, you're like, go ahead.
I can speak well. Like, cursing for me is natural and useful in the sense that it keeps people's attention, it helps make a point, like that. But it's I have the ability to speak without it and still speak well. You know what I mean? It's just not my preferred style.
Yeah. Well, and not only
Thank
that,
God. That's what keeps us entertained, man. Thank God.
Well, Jay's helped me, man. Like I've had problems with. I'll always remember a time that I was talking to a lady, and I was talking about frustration. And she got pissed off at me, and she's like, "Why would you ever want to frustrate a dog?" And it ended up that she actually exited the conversation. It was in like a communal chat room, And I went to Jay first and foremost, and I said, Jay, how can I approach this that's going to get my point across, that isn't going to become dysregulated? Because I think that at the end of the day, we're in this for the dogs, and there is harmony that can be brought about with proper communication. And I can't tell you guys how much Jay helped me with, I guess, reestablishing that dialogue where we made real progress in the conversation that we had. So
Yeah,
thank you, Jay.
he's very good at that for sure. A good communicator. Doesn't look it, but he's a good communicator. Very good communicator. I tell people that all the time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say too that one of the things that all three of us have in common is our passion just to teach. Larry's an incredible teacher. He's just, I always like to let people know that, the stuff you see on YouTube, he put it there a long time ago to help people. He didn't put it there to make money. He didn't put it there for any intention. The only intention he did is so people use training collars the right way and understood when to use it, how to use training collar, and how to work with their dogs, develop relationships and stuff like that. That's why he did it. And to this day, he still has that passion to help people and stuff like that. Jay, as you just mentioned, not only with dog training, but also martial arts. Again, his passion is to help people and teach people and stuff. And for me, and I'm a lot older than these guys and stuff like that. And I told him, I was like, when you're my age, you'll understand what I mean. But, once I hit like probably mid 50s, I had this, passion to want to just help people and teach people, and stuff, because, when you're gone, you're gone, and your attitude's like, it's like you're gone, and hopefully people, are able to use a lot of what you've shown them, and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of how we all kind of a thing we all have in common. And so, Jay, of course, does both the martial arts and the dog training. So,
well, and I think that each one of you have even a different, would I say, approach? How would you describe what makes you guys different?
I think the end goal is the same for all of us, right? And each of us get there a little differently, even though there's a lot of interlapping with certain things where we are similar in many ways, right? So I'll give you an example. Like with Joel, I was watching Joel on TV years ago. Like I knew he when he came up and introduced himself to me at the conference, I was like, dude, I know you are. I've watched you forever. I used to lay on the couch with my hand down my pants, touching my junk, watching you, and when you're about you or something, right? But I think sometimes people take for granted what Joel does. Someone who started off with mammals, whales and dolphins and stuff, and it's 40 something years now, Joel.
Yeah.
And he's still very relevant and put this shit together at this stage of his life where most people could only eat baby food, right? And I'm sorry, Joel. And he's out here putting this thing together and still coming up with new ways to be involved in the dog world and stuff. It blows my mind. Like, listen, I've tried to obtain hotels to do seminars on my own, and it took me about 10 minutes to quit. And this guy comes up with this concept where we are doing this thing so different. He put together like a perfect team because we click, we get along, we respect each other. But more so, what I hear from the people freaking love it. And they keep on coming back wherever we go. That's saying something, you know what I mean? So this was all him. And when we did our one together, you would think 3 would make it tough. But as soon as he said, what about Jay? About bringing this guy on. I have no idea how he came up with Jay. But I was like, absolutely. And I didn't meet Jay or Joel until we all met at the conference 7-8 years ago, whatever it was, right? But I had interactions with Jay online because I loved what he was saying, what him and Chad were saying on their podcasts. When I started listening to them, like I had commented a few times, like, oh man, these guys are speaking my language. Like, this is beautiful. But with all the stuff going on now, the shit show between the IACP and all the videos and people being attacked, and you see the debate with the punishments, it doesn't stop. And that is something that we dive deep into our seminars. Our solo seminars, the seminars with the 3 of us, right? It doesn't matter. But think about this, Bill. I think I said this in a video. 8 years ago, when we were all speaking in Colorado Springs, I think it was 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I went in to watch Jay's presentation on retractable leashes, which is mind-boggling to me that someone has the balls to do a presentation on retractable leashes. And it was damn good, like everything he does, right? But there was a conversation going on between all the professional dog trainers in the crowd. Jay's on stage, I'm sitting up front, and they're talking about punishment, and I'm thinking to myself, that's not punishment. Like, this is going back a ways now. Like, am I crazy? That's not punishment. And then Jay literally spoke out and he said, that's not punishment. And I literally said out loud, motherfucker, that's it. Thank you. And
Do you remember what it was by chance? Because
I don't remember the exact subject, but just like people struggle and get it misconstrued today, they were so far off. And now I see a guy that's thinking along the same ways I am, right? But since then, we've gone even deeper into the punishment stuff. And really, it's why a lot of people come to our seminars, because they want to learn where they're going wrong. Because listen, we don't have trouble for the most part stopping difficult behaviors in dogs. And we're both very light-handed trainers. You understand? And even though you show people and you show them in every way possible and you break it down and explain things for 3 days straight, Joe will tell you, come Sunday, people are still just asking questions, because the hardest thing in dog training is to change the human habit. Okay? And people really struggle with that, and they always want to go back to what comes natural. So when Jay comes in and explains things the way he does, and Joel, what I love about Joel, he'll explain from both our perspectives. This is what why he's doing this. This is why Larry's doing this. But when Jay comes in and gives his interpretation of all this stuff, he's doing it one way. I'm just doing the same thing in a different way, because some people, it takes that hear of both ways before they go, oh shit. We had one woman, wonderful trainer. It was 4 years, her 4th seminar in a row, where Jay was working with a very difficult dog, a Rottweiler, at the end of the seminar, and someone asked a question about what was going on with the punishment. And I went to explain why Jay was doing what he was doing, and she threw her hand up and said, oh, wait, I think I just got it. And she explained it and broke it down, and she got it right. It took 4 years for her to understand, because it was so simple. She was thinking too much into it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. Can you move your screen over just a little bit? I can see half of your face, Larry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There you go. Jay, I think we lost connection with Jay, which is a bummer.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Bill. You see the shit show going on online now. People just want the answer. There is no answer. Like, you have to learn from the right people, right? I teach it. Jay teaches it. We've all learned from Ivan. Dylan Jones teaches it, but Dylan Jones is a bad name to say in dog training for a lot of people right now, right? It's not for me. I will stand behind his training 100%. I've been very vocal and honest. Yes, there's things that he says that I don't like. I had to kind of disassociate from that. But I've lost friends in this industry recently because I refuse to back the bullshit that they throw at him as like he's an abusive trainer or something. No, people are mad because he's a much better trainer than them, and getting results and showing it with the same concepts that we're trying to stress to people, that people don't want to believe that there's something different. So when people out there say there's nothing new in dog training, no, there is for you, because you don't know this stuff. I know it because we see 1,000 people a year, right, Joel? And we see it over and over and over again.
Well, plus our own, 1,000, including our solos. You know, I've got six. I do 6 to 8 solos a year. Larry's got 6 to 8 solos a year on top of our the joint stuff. But like just something Larry said, it was just really, really super important in medicine. Larry and I talked. We talked actually today, and you know, I think what people need to do is they need to be open-minded. And a lot of people, they refuse to be open-minded. They'll look at something and they'll look at one perspective, and that's what they. And you know, what made me a good trainer a long time ago was the fact that I was around a lot of different trainers. You know, in the late 70s and early 80s when I first started. There were trainers, and I'm not going to mention their names, but there were trainers. They did, you know, a lot of features that they were rough. They were really rough on dogs, And at the time, I worked for Ray Berwick. We did the Animal Show at Universal Studios. This is 1980, 81. That's when I first started. And Ray, he trained all the birds from Alfred Hitchcock's motion picture, The Birds. He was a really good bird trainer. Did Jonathan Livingston Seagull, did all this stuff. But he also was a really good dog trainer. But he used positive reinforcement. And Ray was the only guy that was using positive reinforcement. I learned from Ray Berwick and Brian Renfro, a buddy of mine who's some of you guys probably know. And so I learned that style. But there were some things that I learned from these other guys. I didn't necessarily hang my hat on it, but there was some of the stuff that they did on, getting snarls, how they got snarls, how they got dogs to snarl, to really, really show a lot of teeth and stuff like that. I mean, stuff that I could never do on my own. It was like, okay, I saw how they did it, and stuff, and just, and there's things that we did. It's not my style, but I did it, did the shot.
Yeah, and I think that's the key, man, is not only do we can we learn from others, but we also got to learn from these dogs too. And I think that people, they get locked in on a philosophy and they forget to look at that individual dog. And I know that there's a cliche working with the dog at the end of the leash, but we got to see the results, man. And that's one thing about Dylan that I cannot deny is the results.
Listen, Dylan's not the guy in person that people make him out to be online. But you also, and the reason I'm so vocal about this is because I'm not taking any side. I'm going to be honest about the whole thing. And people don't like the fact that I back him. I'm always going to put the dog first. And that's what he's doing. And he's not doing the things that people are claiming, but they forget why he's so angry. Like the shit that he had to put up with, I've had to put up with before in the past too. And then you have the big names in the balance world that don't say anything, but then they want to put these big name force-free trainers on a pedestal. Can't we all get along and be friends? No, fuck you. Fuck you. It's too late for that because we went through hell. I have, he has, other people have, and you motherfuckers are silent. So suck a dick, okay? That's why he's fucking angry. So I get it. And I'm not justifying that. The reason I had to separate myself, there's certain things I can't get behind that he says, and he knows that. I'm honest about it, right? I'm not angry at him. I love what he's doing, and I hope he keeps teaching people because he's teaching the right way, okay? He's teaching exactly like a lot of the things that we get. Let's put it this way. I just got back from South Dakota. I've been one seminar after another for the past 2 months, right? The ultimate compliment, there's a lot of things that I get filled with pride when people tell me, and people tell me amazing things at the end of seminars, very personal things. But there's one thing I can't stress enough. There was a woman there that took a lot of notes and asked a lot of questions, right? She was really into the whole thing. And then at the end, like she couldn't be more over the top, complimentary, and just, I can't believe, like so excited. And then the host, I think it was, who said, tell him she's a force-free trainer. She's a positive-only trainer. Just got certified for CP, DT, whatever it says. But our world was so something different to what she imagined than seeing me, who, by the way, 3 days of going deep into punishment, seeing it in different ways, giving different explanations, and watching these dogs just be crazy about me and just want to be with me. You're taking someone who's a force-free certified trainer, open to sit in my seminar and go, holy shit, my mind is blown. Like, I can't believe, and that's not the first time. And I'm not a force-free trainer. I don't shy away from tools, right? But it happened years ago, the first time I talk about this. I had a young lady come up to me at lunchtime, first day, and she said, I just want you to know I came here to hate you. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, she was from a group, a force-free group, and came to interrupt things, shut things down. And she's like, this isn't what I expected. Mm-hmm. And guess what? She made the switch. When people understand punishment, that's just the one subject we're talking about, right? They see the dog world and dealing with difficult behaviors on a whole different level because it gives you the ability to deal with these things so much easier than what people do now. Because if you fall for those definitions of the 4 quadrants and people could recite them in their sleep, you're going to fail because they don't tell the whole truth. You're missing out on so much. So you want to learn this stuff? I teach it, Jay teaches it, Dylan teaches it. We all learned on a deeper level from Ivan, and there's others out there teaching it too. But these fuckers on Facebook just want an answer. Is it this? No, you wouldn't get it, because people who witness it in many different shapes and forms really struggle with it because they overthink it so much, and everyone's been brainwashed to believe that punishment just equals force. Okay, that didn't work, go a little harder. That stopped working now, go a little harder. I showed a video 3 weeks ago with the female shepherd, right? Almost every board and train I get is for dog aggression, almost always German shepherds. And every time I take it out into the public, starts off in my neighborhood for the first time, the dog's on a 27-foot retractable leash. You never see the dogs care about dogs anymore. I allow the dog to make the choice. You never see them fail. And people will say things like, well, try that with an actually aggressive dog, right? Try that with my dog. And even though the owners will jump on and say, hey, 7 years I haven't walked this dog, I can't. Like, this dog is really bad, right? So I said, you know what? And or other people will say, well, what did you do to get there? And I say, I showed you everything. I filmed everything and posted it. No, I only see you playing with the dog. If that's all you're seeing, then you're missing the whole big picture. You're missing everything. So 3 weeks ago, I took another dog, German Shepherd, highly dog aggressive, very, very driven, strong, working line shepherd. And I said, I'm going to take this dog out in the first week when she's not ready. Because normally I don't take the dogs out for 2 or 3 weeks. Because by the time I put them in that situation, if I have to tell them, hey, I don't like that, they go, oh shit, okay, I get it, right? But instead, I took her out too soon. We were talking to the camera. The dog took off to go after a dog. The dog surprised us. I marked that behavior. No. I interrupted it with the e-collar on an aversive level. You hear the dog let out a little yip and come flying back to me. That part where that dog comes back to me, that's where 99.9% of the people will praise that, reward that, or even just continue on. And that's why they fail over and over and over. I did it. That's where the punishment actually began, and I showed it. But this time it was through the leash. I made it personal. I put a lot of social pressure on that dog, letting her know I wasn't happy with that choice. And then I let her know, hey, we're good. Now let's continue, right? Completely different of what everyone else does. But the important part was what happened 2 houses down at a more difficult spot where you have the underground fence and dogs are charging. You see her hair stand up. She starts locking in on the dogs. Again, this is where the inexperienced try to interrupt that. No, come, this, hit the e-collar, this and that, never allowing the dog to make the choice. I did nothing. What did she do? She looked at me and said, nice job, girl. And then she pranced by as proud as could be. And I said, there you go. That was one time, right? Because I presented punishment in a way that makes sense to the dog. Not for the idiot human that keeps doing the same shit, the small dick ego thing where you just yell a little louder and punish, correct a little harder. But people can't get it through their heads. But the people that come watch and learn from us or the others teaching it, they go, holy, it changes lives. Like it gives you such an advantage to the average dog trainer. And let me say one last thing and then I'll shut up. There's a lot of people jumping on in the dog training world now talking about how embarrassing this is, how stupid, how childish, this and that. They can't believe they're part of this. A lot of these people I've been friends with for a long time, and I've lost friends because of them in the past also because of their training, right? There's people that behind the scenes have called me and say, they're ripping me apart because of this video. Like, is this bad? Where I've told them, yes, it is. It's awful. I know what you did to get that. The dog doesn't lie. But people learn as they go. But you can't go from that just a few years ago to all of a sudden you're this fucking expert. It doesn't work that way. And I'm getting tired of hearing people running their mouth because I'm about to start exposing these fuckers who want to bash everyone from TWC to Dylan to anyone talking about punishment like there's nothing new out there. They know it all. I'm this close to start exposing people who they really fucking are. So addicted to attention on social media when just a few years ago you were fucking plastering dogs, just flattening them and getting all kinds of shit from a lot of people in the dog world. And I was getting shit because I was friends with you. They just didn't know that behind the scenes I was telling you, that's bad training, dude. That's not good and you have to change that. So that's a lot of stuff that goes on with me in my world that people don't get to see, right? They don't. Jay, like Stephanie just brought me my beads that I got from Jay, my meditation beads.
Yeah, you need those.
Thank you, Steph.
Yeah, you bring out the anal beads next, I'm done. Okay, I'll settle down. Sorry, but this shit gets me fired up, and this is the stuff me and Joel talk about this all the time. This is the stuff that people don't get to see in public. Someone accused me today of me not giving the tips because it's a marketing scheme. Motherfucker, I've been putting free shit out more than anybody for 20 years. And now all of a sudden I'm a marketing genius and want your business? Fuck you. Fuck you, okay? Go learn from somebody, you miserable fuck. Sorry.
It's showing through your frustration. And I think too that what I admire about you is it takes some balls to confront somebody and tell them the truth and let them know, look, this is shit. This is shit. And I think that we belong to a world where people try to, and I'm guilty of this myself, of being a people pleaser, right? Sure. And pleasing everybody and not calling it out when they see it. And we could use more of that in the balanced community. But also, the fact is that, and by the way, our comments are blowing up with Denise Fenzi and Dylan's here. Everybody is going crazy in the comments. We see you, but we're not going there.
I don't see the comments. I'm used to being on that side.
Yeah, you should be able to pull up the
comments.
comments.
Yeah, there they are now. Okay. There they are. Love it.
So I want to go back to punishment.
Yeah.
Joel, what does punishment mean to you?
Huh?
Let's start there. I'm going to start with, and I'm going to ask both of you the same question. What does punishment mean to you? We can get like the definition of punishment. Let me start there. Is the imposition of an undesirable, unpleasant outcome upon an individual or group in response to breaking norms, rules, or laws.
I'm just going to give you guys an example of what I've seen. And, you got to remember that I'm a guy who trains animals, movies, TV shows, and commercials. So I'm not a guy who really is the guy that's going to talk about punishment, negative reinforcement, all that stuff. I've dealt with aggression over in my career and dealt with, doing bite work and stuff like that on the set and things like that. But I've never really worn that on my sleeve. So, so for me to talk about it, it's just that but what I will say is this, and that is that, and what I've learned from these guys, and I've learned a lot more about punishment from these guys than I have in my entire career. But allowing the dog not to, a good example is the 2-line stuff, okay? And because and Larry always gives credit to Ivan, for that. And, but when that dog is, and I've just seen this over and over and over again, and that is when they have the 2-line and that woman is with that dog and that trainer standing, 15 feet away, and that dog blows up, she steps back, and that dog, all of a sudden, the mind, it wants to go to her, can't go to her, all of a sudden can't get out of it. That is true punishment. Dog is actually being punished. And the person steps back. It becomes a situation to where the dog no longer is focused on that, but it's focused on that person. And as a guy who's, as I said, as far as understanding aggression, there's a lot of people that are watching right now that know way more about aggression than I do. But I know dogs, and I've seen this stuff, and I've seen that stuff. Right? So my thing is that when somebody asks me to define stuff, it's hard for me to define, define because I don't train dogs in the world that you guys do. But to me, that's where it's effective. And the whole point is that we've had dogs that come to our events. I've watched these guys where, we had a dog in Manchester, a pit bull, for 8 years. It was 8 years. They're going after people for 8 years. And literally this dog, when she stepped away from the dog just all of a sudden whipped around, started just freaking out, just wanted to go to her and just, throwing this just, but nothing was going. I mean, nobody was hurting the dog. The dog wanted to go to her. That's true. And Larry, and we had a few people that had issues with that. And Larry's like, and we're like, how can we have issues with it? This dog is being jacked up for 8 years by people with all these e-collars, and you have a problem with this?
Got its ass kicked for 8 years. That following week, that woman was posting videos of that dog dock diving around people, dogs, everything. Yeah.
And that literally, and Larry will tell you the same thing. So we go inside. So then we go outside. They go outside with the dog. Oh, the dog has problems with cars and stuff like that. Larry's like, let's take it out there. There's a road going by. They take it out there. Literally, they worked it out. Like one or two times they did it. Boom.
10 minutes.
And it's not to say that it's magic, but you're asking me about punishment, Bob. And as I said, I'm not the guy, the true guy that's going to tell.
Hey,
but
Joel,
I mean, I hope that explains.
Joel, that's Bill, not Bob.
Bill, sorry. Bill, sorry.
Bill.
I own bowwowbobs.com too because the B. Yeah,
he's now Bob My Knob dog training.
No, shut up, Larry. Screw you. All right, sorry, Joel. Do you remember what you were talking about?
So anyways, hopefully that explains a little bit about what I've seen with these guys and stuff like that. So.
Well, and what I hear too, what Larry's saying is that the dog wasn't prepared in the case that he was given, and so I want to add to you, Larry, like what, how do you define punishment? But, and what role does rapport and the individual dog play in how
massive, right?
Yes.
So what I have to say 100 times during a 3-day seminar is I don't do this, guys. I'm teaching you. I want you to understand I don't have to do this, because when a dog comes to me, I have time. I have time to give it what it needs. And then a lot of times you don't get those behaviors. You understand? But if you do, if I tried to punish a dog on day one for trying to come after me or go after a dog or something, it's going to be very difficult, right? It's not there. I'm putting a dog in a situation it shouldn't be in, yes. Hence why one of those videos got taken down on the IACP day. It was terrible. Like, that's horrible training. Like it's to me, it's I can't even watch that. It's so bad. And I know that people have good intentions and they think they're doing right because they don't know any better. I'll ask you a simple question, right? We can go into punishment right now and speak 8 hours nonstop and never get to the end. How many different variations I could throw at you to make you understand it better? Because it's not, the formula stays the same, but you could present it in so many different ways. So that's why I give a lot of examples to clients, whether it's at a seminar in person. I throw every example under the sun so it allows them to think a little deeper. But I'm going to simplify it. We start off like this, right? Let's say at a seminar, I say, okay, who wants to explain operant conditioning? Give me the definitions of the 4 quadrants. Shit, people jump all over that. They could do that inside and out. Okay, cool. And I say, if you go by those definitions, you're going to struggle. They don't tell the whole truth. Then I'll ask a simple question. All right, let's pretend you have a dog. You have a leash and a collar. I don't care what kind of collar, flat collar, prong, doesn't matter. You know your dog knows sit inside and out. It's his best command, right? You ask the dog to sit. All of a sudden he says, hey, I don't want to sit, right? And I say, utilize a little negative reinforcement to get the dog to sit. What does that mean? They say, well, apply a little leash pressure. Okay, and what are you looking for? The butt to hit the ground. Then what happens? The leash pressure goes away. Okay, right? Simple negative reinforcement, escape avoidance training. Anyone disagree with that? No one ever disagrees with that, right? Yeah. I say, okay, escape avoidance training, very simple. We're adding some kind of pressure, doesn't mean painful, something, and we're teaching the dog how to turn it off, how to get out of it. Sit, tap, 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 dog sits. And one day you say sit, tap, tap, dog sits. And one day you say sit, boom, we get a fast sit. It understands how to avoid the pressure. Very powerful in learning, right? Now, with that being said, I'll give you an example for there. Let's say I took a dog at a seminar that came from a real bad situation. I won't spend a lot of time there. Shut down, scared of the world, face hiding. I started adding some movement, asked for a sit, and then immediately went to helping with the leash, right? Sit, help with the leash. Dog sits, I free the dog, we run around, we party. In a few minutes, you start seeing the dog come to life because negative reinforcement can be very powerful on bringing up a weak dog. You give the leash back to the owner, say, do what I just did. They start moving. They ask for a sit. The dog doesn't sit right away. They correct the dog. Now, by definition, is that negative reinforcement? Yeah, it's the same thing. Do you think the dog perceives what I did the same as what that other person did? Not even close. You doing the same thing by definition, the dog perceives it in a very different way. That's why I'm getting a very different result with that dog than you are. Now, let's switch up the scenario. Now you're walking down the street with that dog, and that dog sees a dog and explodes at the end of the leash, wants to get to that dog. I say, hey, do me a favor, punish that behavior. Same leash, same collar. What do? Well, everyone says, give it a good hard yank, say no. Okay, tell me in order what you're going to do. Most people will give a good hard yank and then say no. And, what are you looking for? The dog to stop. Okay, cool. Let's say you do that. You say no, or you give a good hard yank, you say no, and the dog stops. Now the dog turns around and he's looking at you because you just really gave him a good wallop, right? What do you do there? Well, I praise that or reward that. Anyone disagree with that? Right? Dog's giving you that nice engagement that everybody wants, right? Everyone. Yeah, that's what I would do, of course. And that's why you fail over and over and over. What's the difference between what you did to stop the aggression, right, with the punishment, and what you did to obtain the sit through negative reinforcement? What's the difference? When I ask that, everyone goes silent. And then someone will eventually say the punishment was much harder. Oh, yeah, it was hard, right? Caused some pain? Yeah. Anyone disagree? No, yeah, it was right. Everyone agree? Yep. Force doesn't equal punishment. Okay. What is negative reinforcement? Escape avoidance training, right? We're teaching the dog how to escape something. When you implement a firm aversive to stop the aggression and that dog stops, and you turn around and continue on with your walk, or you praise that or you reward that, what did you just do? What's different with that? You allowed the dog to escape it, and then you rewarded it.
Yep.
Right? What's the difference? You're doing the same damn thing, and that's why you get the same damn results. That's why I showed that video of me with the shepherd a few weeks ago. It's there for everyone to see, but everyone still wants to be spoon-fed. So when I asked someone, hey, did you watch that video? They go, yes, that was amazing. Like, that really cleared everything up for me. I said, okay, what did I do in that video? Not one person can recite exactly what I did. Not one person. Because they watch it, but they're not really consuming it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, you allow the dog to make a choice.
That's right.
Exactly.
But then once the dog made the wrong choice, I dealt with it, right? And when the dog stopped making the bad choice, I didn't let her out of it. I continued. I added some social pressure. I took the leash. I said enough, and I gave her a few quick pops and did it 2 or 3 times, and she's like, holy shit, he's really mad at me, right? I'm like, hey, we good? And then I let her know, okay, now we're good. We're back to baseline. We're going back to normal. I'm going to give you another shot at this, and I'm not mad at you, right?
That's right. That's
like
right.
The shit that people are doing. The reason I spoke up, Bill, with the IACP stuff, I don't make a lot of negative comments on people's stuff unless you're harming a dog. I just don't, right? But when you're looking at an organization, it's our NRA, right? IACP is to us what the NRA is to guns. It's very important. And when I see someone putting out training videos and you're the training director, I don't know that individual. I know everyone tells me he's a really nice guy. I'm sure he is. But you have a responsibility that if you're putting something out there under the umbrella of the IACP, you better know what you're talking about. And that shit was so wrong in every way. And that's why I wasn't the only one. People were glad I said something, because the people that know, that have learned from the right people, are going, this is awful. Like, this isn't even close to being truthful, right? And it's not. And that's why I stay busy all year long. We all stay busy all year long because people want to learn this stuff. And the people that learn it go, holy shit. The same way I understood punishment before I took Ivan's course, before I learned from Ivan. But I knew there was stuff I was missing that I could do better. I tell this story all the time. And then when we got deep into the punishment stuff in the course, and I saw Ivan do something that I used to teach at seminars, I don't do it too much anymore, the stuff Joel was talking about. When we got to that part and someone else that took the course before me had explained it to me in a very good way. I literally called him immediately. I said, motherfucker, that's it. He's like, what's it? Like, that's the part I was missing. I knew all these years. And here's the thing. What I was doing was working and working well without being heavy-handed on the dog. But I knew there was something better because I'm a perpetual student, not like these other fucking phonies out there that just keep working on their social media. I'm a student. So I knew there was something I could do better because there's always something we could do better. And when I took that from Ivan, I said, oh my God, this is going to be it. Here's the problem. The first time I did it, he came to a seminar I was doing in Florida and I had to do it in front of him. And I was terrible. And I said, that was awful. What could I do better? He goes, no, that wasn't bad. I go, no, yes, it was. Don't sugarcoat things because I need to learn how I could do it better. And it was great to have him there because he went deep into it. And here's what I was doing, like what everyone does and why they fail in the beginning. Everyone gets so excited when they learn this, Bill. They run back to their facilities, they do it, and they send me videos. And there's only been one individual who's ever gotten it right. Hello, Sinead, over in the UK, right? One individual. The reason so many people get it wrong is because they try to copy a method, emulate like a technique. And there's so much more to that. There has to be some rapport with the dog. You have a living, breathing, emotional creature at the end of that leash. And when you're insincere and delivering bullshit to the animal, it's not beneficial and so harmful in many ways. So the difficult dogs that so many people struggle with out there, they're not difficult for me. They're usually quite easy. Same thing with Jay, same thing with Dylan, same thing with Ivan, same thing for a lot of people that understand this stuff. But there's so many people out there that have been training for a long time and are making money and have platforms on social media. They can't admit that they don't know what they're talking about. So what happens is they ingrain themselves into letting people know they understand it and have been doing this forever, little by little, so it's not so noticeable. I see the bullshit. I know the bullshit because I know how you train. And you don't know this shit. And that's why you get shitty results and you're still redirecting fucking aggression cases with food. You're going to fail just because, listen, you put any dog that's a little nervous on a leash and have the owner hold it and it's in a muzzle and you're approaching to get some fucking video, guess what the dog's going to do? Look like a bad dog. We don't do that. We let the dog loose without a muzzle. That's why we wear make a free choice, buddy. You got the choice. You know how many dogs actually go through with fucking trying to attack you? Very few. But when you put a muzzle on it and restrain it with a leash and approach the dog with your fucking camera for your website and your social media, you're not getting to see who the real dog is. It's bullshit. It's marketing bullshit. The same people that are screaming about other successful trainers being marketing bullshit people, they're doing the same fucking thing, just trying to be more sincere with their language about it. So sorry I got carried away there, but this shit irks me big time.
Everybody's calling me Bob in the comments. Thanks, Joel.
Yeah, sorry.
Hold on.
Bob my knob dog training here.
No, Larry, don't start that crap. Dude.
I'm going to get a shirt made.
Here we go. There we go. Look at, I changed my name here, Bob. I put Bob on my name here now. So in a few things that you talked about, Larry, one, with the muzzle and the leash and approach, guess what? You are giving the dog no other choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're also confirming to the dog you should be concerned about me.
Absolutely, the dog's making the right choice by doing this, and that's what I love about like in the bite work suit. I mean, the bite suits, like that's for our protection, so we don't get hurt. And giving the dog the long line and giving the dog the choice, let the dog discern. Because guess what, dude? I used to fight. I used to, Jay and I used to be in kickboxing, not together, but one thing that we had in common. But dude, I hated it. I mean, there was a part of me that was there was a part that it was exhilarating about it, but there's another part of it that is, I mean, just very unpleasant. When you hurt somebody, when you have to go to that place of being, being aggressive and lashing out. And if I can manage that for myself, which I've done for many years, that is much more preferable. And after a while, the baseline kind of comes down of the need to be aggressive. And this is what we need to do for the dogs, is to realize, one, this isn't pleasurable for them responding like this. It's fearful. Most of the cases that I see are fearful, but we need to give the dog the opportunity to learn, to make choices, to discern in the human world, and to be there when they make the right choice, and to be truly proud of them. And that's, in my opinion, that's truly positive reinforcement, because it's true. I'm really proud of you.
Listen, I had a client, no dog experience, right? Put it brilliantly to me. She had a German Shepherd. She can't take it anywhere. After we started doing some private sessions together, online, by the way, she's not near me. She finally got the nerve to take her dog out for the first time, went to a park, right? And then she said, I have to ask you something. She said, tell me if I'm on the right track. She said, so the initial interruption of the unwanted behavior, which most people think is the punishment, she goes, that's negative reinforcement. I said, correct. And she said, when I step away and create a little social separation or social pressure, she's like, that's kind of like negative punishment, right? I said, yeah, you could look at it like that very well. She said, then I actually add the punishment. Whatever aversive I choose, that's the actual punishment once the dog already stops the behavior, because now I can no longer get out of it, right? I said, very well. And she said, when I reconcile with that dog, when I let him know, hey, buddy, we're good, I'm not mad anymore. It's like positive reinforcement. I said, brilliant. Now you're getting it. She said, so I'm hitting all 4 quadrants. It's not just punishment. I'm tapping into all 4 quadrants in this one event to stop this behavior. This took a person with no dog training skills to go out with her dog one time after 6 years of misery, working with purely positive trainers and so-called balance trainers. By the way, a couple of pretty well-known balance trainers. You know why? Going up higher on the e-collar or the prong collar is not the answer. Redirecting with food's not the answer. You're going to get the same bullshit results that people have been getting for years. Yep. I've been at this 30 years. I only have a 1-year waiting list because I won't go to a 2-year waiting list. I'm not the best dog trainer in the world. But every single person that drives cross country to drop their dog off, I say, why do you want to do that when I know good trainers in Washington? I know good trainers in California. I've only gotten one answer. They say, we see how the dogs look with you. It's that simple. That's what people care about. They want the results, but they also don't want a dog flattened to a fucking place board looking like it's going to commit suicide. You understand what I'm saying?
They love it. And Joel, thank you so much. Joel's got to run, Lair. So we're going to say goodbye to Joel. Thank you for joining us today.
You guys, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Talk to you tomorrow, Joel, okay?
You got to take care, guys.
Take your Metamucil and put your diaper on before bed. Don't do that shit to Michelle anymore, okay?
You got it. Always, Larry.
He's got it on now.
See you, Joel.
See you.
Take care, guys. Take care, guys.
Well, and the thing too, Larry, is just like with that pit bull that was 8 years of getting his ass kicked. Dude, imagine how this is what it is liberating. You don't need to fucking micromanage your dog. You don't need to. You don't need to count 2 seconds. Oh, I missed the window. Oh, like I can't even imagine all the energetic residue that's left in people's brains when they're trying to always stay in front of the problem when they just need to get the hell out of the way.
It's ridiculous. So listen, here's the new thing. The new thing is to be, and I just had this conversation with a really cool TWC trainer the other day at my seminar. He's a certified TWC trainer. I had this cool conversation with him. I'm so grateful that I never stayed in and got certified. I am, because I think I could be more effective by pushing people to go that way when I'm not officially part of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have nothing to gain by it. And I thought about the other day, because if I was so engrossed in it and certified in it, maybe it wouldn't have the same effect. But listen, I've pushed certain trainers for a long time, not myself. I've told people, it never made sense to me to learn from anyone but the best out there.
Yep.
But yet you have people going to, I had someone jump on that post I made, my video, real nasty, because I commented on allowing Sean O'Shea to be part of the video in the IACP. He's garbage. And if you think he's a good trainer, you know nothing about training. And I got this guy saying he's the best around, the best out of anybody. I said, then you, my friend, are a complete idiot, like a complete idiot, because that is someone that has destroyed dogs for years, but more importantly, taught others how to destroy dogs. So fuck you. Think about how many times you've heard me say someone's name out loud in a bad way. There's been very few people. I don't do it. I do it when I know you're a piece of shit and causing more harm than good. That's when I don't care. That's when I don't care. And a lot of people don't like that. I lost 150 followers on Instagram yesterday because of the rebuttal to the Antonio's video. Think about how sick that is. I didn't say nothing bad. I wasn't harmful to anyone. I was respectful, but people don't like the truth. They don't like the truth. It's absolutely insane what we deal with in this very, very, very fragile egos, very fragile egos.
Well, and I think that it's important to realize that I don't care if I gain followers, if I gain friends. Is that Benny back in the?
That's Benny. Why is Benny barking? Oh, that's my boy getting home with no shirt on. I don't know why we spend money on clothes for my son. He's always just half naked, likes to show off his muscles.
Yeah, dude, I was there. Live it up while you can, buddy, and take a good look at your dad.
That's bullshit, bro. Take offense to that, Bob.
Dude, what do I call you now, Harry? Harry.
Listen, okay. I graduated high school at 6'1", 135 pounds. My son is a sophomore. He's 6'3", 185 pounds. He's jacked. He's a beast. He's a beast, man. Good genes.
Well, yeah, good genes. Must get them from Steph.
Yeah.
You gave it to him. So what I was gonna say is, like, followers, friends, we're advocates for dogs, dude.
That's it.
That's it. And guess what? There's dogs being euthanized that are great dogs. There's dogs that are being destroyed, like emotionally destroyed. There are people who walk around talking like they're the expert, and they are being unfair. They're being unethical. They're chasing that dollar. There's people out there that, I mean, I'm so thankful for the teachers that I've had, both the good and the bad ones that I've had.
The bad are just as important.
And that's why it's important to have these conversations. Like, people say, like, this is an embarrassment. This is, but it needs to happen, dude. Like, I think that people need to have an understanding that there is no harmony. Somebody just posted up here a comment that is, dude, there's so many fucking comments here. Let me find it because it was good and I wanted to post it up, but you guys were shooting the breeze about right here. Elcon, great comment. Bad training is bad training.
Beautiful comment. That shit needs to be put on a t-shirt.
There's no.
But here's the thing, Bill, and to what Elcon is saying, okay? Someone posted, I'm not going to say who, someone posted a video a few weeks ago. It was really bad training, like really bad training, dealing with an aggression case. It was really bad. But because the person is very well liked and popular, no one had anything to say except the honest people. If a person that wasn't very popular or well known posted that same identical video, if we used AI to change the face, people would have been outraged. You're a fraud. If you're okay because he's doing it, but not okay if this person's doing it, you're a fraud. Don't say you put the dogs first. You put the dogs first when it's convenient for you. Okay? Oh, Bill, you just like froze in the weirdest looking way, like you were having a seizure or something. Yeah, I look
back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
Nice, Elcon. Very, very nice. You're right.
Once he posted that comment, I was like, oh man, that's exactly it. Bad training is bad training, And we owe these dogs better. We owe these dogs the best that we can do. And that's why there's no finish line to learning. There's no finish line to seeking mentors. And that's one of the things that attracted me to Dylan. I had no clue who this guy was. I was watching his videos and I was like, that's legit.
Yes,
what's he doing? What's he doing?
Yes,
and then following up the pipeline to Ivan, and I've known about Ivan, and I'm so happy that I know and know Ivan on a different level, and I call him my friend now. You know, the first time that I reached out to Ivan, I was like, "You want to come on a live stream?" No, didn't know him, didn't anything, and I'm sure he thought that I was like diehard Napopo.
Yeah,
and he was like, "I don't know what we would talk about. We don't agree on anything." And I'm like, "Fuck you, buddy. You don't even know me. You don't even know me." But I'm pretty persistent. And so I was like, dude, I'm sure we could figure it out. Or even if we can't talk about anything, let's talk anyway.
Right.
And then being able to meet him and being able to go to his place and look at that. And being able to see, and we did a podcast, Ivan and Omar and I did a podcast. It was like 3.5 hours, but the audio didn't work. And I wish it did, man, because it was really good stuff. Yeah. And Ivan asked me in that podcast, he's like, "Why are you here?" Because I went there to meet Omar, and then Omar doesn't live too far. So we drove down to Ivan's place.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What questions do you have for Omar?" And I was like, "I don't really have any questions for him. I just want to watch him. I just want to be in the same area with him when he's working dogs. I want to see how his dogs greet me. I want to see," and this might sound a little hippy dippy to you. You ready, Lair?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what kind of psychic energy is communicated when I shake his hand, when I touch him. You know, just like that experience, that memory of taking this learning to the next step. And I observed Ivan in his training facility, and people don't realize it, but his dogs were in that same room with us during the whole time that the podcast happened. And I've never seen dogs, Malinois, that are such a high level be so chill. And Greg Van Kuren from ecollar.com, he came over. He had a condo there and is another great friend of mine. And I remember Greg came over, and Greg's an engineer. He's not a dog trainer. He's not like a dog person. He's an engineer. He made these products and sensors and all that stuff, electronics. And I just remember I was having a conversation with Ivan, and we were talking about some trophy or something that he had. We were talking about this like spiked dog collar that he got from a farmer in Eastern Europe. And then Greg just walks over to the kennel and sticks his hand in the kennel with Ivan's Malinois. And Ivan's Malinois just looked up, licked his hand, and like put his head over, and Greg's just scratching his head.
Yeah.
And the dogs that I've met with the previous trainers that I've had, dude, you would have lost a finger.
Yes, I talk about this all the time, Bill. Like I talk about it all the time, and I never used myself. Like I deal with a lot of dogs, like a lot of sport dog people. I just did another police canine seminar where getting a strong dog to out is a real problem for these people, right?
Yes.
And I tried to show them examples with my dogs, but I say, don't take it from me. I say, if you go watch Ivan's dogs or Bart's dogs, they're very strong and powerful. Do you ever see them not out like quickly and wanting to? No. So why do you think if you teach an out, you're going to make a weaker dog? Like, does your dog look stronger than mine because I have control and my dog outs no problem? Like, I don't understand this concept. Like, that's an excuse for poor training and not knowing to get cooperation from the dog while obtaining the dog's full power and strength, right? They don't have that skill, but they can't admit that. They think if they teach their dog to out on command, it's going to affect biting or his strength or his demeanor, which is friggin' insanity. It's absolutely insanity, So I've always been very vocal about the people I give credit to, because I say it all the time. Like, when I entered that world, that kind of dog, that was because of Bart. Like, he lit the fire for me. I'm always going to be loyal and grateful to Bart. I'm always going to be loyal and grateful to Ivan, because it didn't make sense to me to learn from weaker people. It doesn't mean I don't learn from other people. I learn from great people. You know,
Yes.
I drove down to Florida last year to spend a week with Fabian Robinson and tracking and protection for Dante in that world. Brilliant, brilliant. Just listening in 30 minutes, I knew where I made all the mistakes. You know, I pay attention to everything Dave Croyer does, and I'm just such a fan of everything he does, because his life, not just dogs, who he is as a human, how he attacks everything, right? So there's so many people out there that I have so much respect for, and I continually, I'm a student first from the people that are above me. But then my job is to be a teacher to the people below me. It's just that some people don't want to admit they're below you. Okay. Yeah. And sometimes you learn. I offered a friend some help recently. I don't do that. I don't offer dog advice, but they were struggling with something that I deal with 3 or 4 times a month. Very easy for me. They're really struggling with it. I said, Chef, dude, I can help you with that. Let's get that. They were appalled. It was kind of like, you're going to help me? And I knew who that person was. Wasn't the person I thought they were. I knew who they were the minute I saw that attitude, right? Okay, you're dealing with that problem. I'm not. And I fix this problem 3 or 4 times a month from people that travel from all over in the sport world to work on that. And I just thought you were my friend. So I'm comfortable saying, dude, we get that fixed real quick. Didn't go over well. And I said, oh, the ego is fucking huge here. Huge. And so I'm glad things went downhill from there, to be honest with you, because I can't be around people like that. If I'm struggling with something, listen, I just went through hell with Frankie, right? With the dirty dog thing for 6 months. Hell. I can't explain.
I remember that, dude. I remember texting you and being like, you okay, buddy? And you fucking fired back, dude.
And because I put out and have put out so much stuff over the years, and I'm trustworthy, I'm loyal. If someone says, don't say something, don't show this, I don't. Like, you're not going to get it out of me. And this one person with a huge heart said, I got a fix for that. I think this is going to help you. And as soon as they told me, it was that same moment I had with Ivan with the punishment. I said, that's it. That's going to work.
What do you care to?
No, I can't, because I promised I wouldn't.
Okay.
Now, people have gotten pissed at me for that. I should say it. No, I shouldn't say it. You have low moral character, so you think I should go against my word that I gave this person that offered to help me without me asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means when I tell you, if you say, do me a favor, don't share this, right? Don't tell them where you got it. And it's not causing pain or harm to the dog, by the way, either, right? But there's people that like to keep secrets to themselves. It sets them apart, and I understand that. So if you're going to be kind enough to share something with me that totally changed this around, well, fuck, I'm going to take that to the grave, because I owe you that much. You understand? And if anytime that person says, hey, if someone's struggling, go ahead and help them with this, I will. But I tell you what happens. The first time I help someone with it, they're going to tell someone else, because there's not a lot of people out there. I come from a world where I grew up in Jersey. If you rat or snitch on someone, you had a problem. You have a real problem. People are going to view you very differently, and you're never going to be safe. You understand? That's just culture for us. So I think people over the years have realized, man, you can really fucking trust this guy. He's as loyal, and I am. I'm loyal to a fault. So if you tell me something, I'm not going to someone and saying, hey, do me a favor. I'm not supposed to tell you this, so don't say nothing to no one, and tell them. That's what people do. And the chain just keeps going before you're in a room and everyone in the room knows the same thing, but no one's allowed to know that you know the same thing. That's the dog world, right? I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that. I'll sit by my, and that's why this thing with Jay and Joel, I absolutely love, because I truly enjoy my time with them. And we laugh, dude. We have good times, you know, like we really have a good time. And this whole thing is a whole different vibe, these seminars we do together. It's very different. When everyone's staying in the same hotel and you're training in the hotel in a big conference room, and you need to put your dog in the room, you can. You need to take a break, you can. We're partying at night together, training dogs. It's a whole different thing that just people tell us you can't match this anywhere. Like, this is so different. And people keep coming back year after year after year because they love it. They love it, but they learn too, because we're teaching stuff that others aren't. So when I hear someone saying, you know, seminars are useless, you can't learn anything. Yeah, if you're giving it, maybe, not you, the person saying it, right? I understand why you think that, because you can't teach people in person when you have them for 6 months, right? But we watch people change their lives over a 2.5-day weekend, like truly change, because this stuff is so new to them, when before it's the same shit from everyone, right? It's either extreme, feed the dog's face, or blow the dog's head off, right? 2 sides. And all this middle stuff is going untalked about, unlearned, unnoticed. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
It's a very broad perspective. People need to realize that it's not a narrow view of you must do this. And that's one of the things about the video that I was perturbed about, was like the 2-second, dude, I have dogs that, like, it's you don't need to count. You need to have a relationship with that dog. That's the first and foremost. That is a cornerstone, is trust, rapport, and then we can start to have a good conversation. And I'm excited, dude, because I've never been to one of your seminars.
I can't wait.
You guys come out to the West Coast, first time ever.
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon. I bought a ticket the day that it was announced, and then I have one of my. This is April. You're going to be meeting her.
Nice.
Says,
can't wait. Looking forward to it, April.
She's got a little Doberman, or a big Doberman, I should say, named Dakota. And I think she had a question, if you're still on here, about the late night training sessions or whatever. So if you're still on here, April, make sure to ask your question, because I said that I would definitely shout her out. And
just so you guys know, the late night sessions aren't mandatory. You're not going to miss anything. Well, people do miss a lot of because good shit happens at night, because people are so loose, and all 3 of us are working at the same time, and everyone's a little toasted too, because everyone's drinking and stuff, right? Listen, we did one in Orange County, California a couple years ago, right? There was this big Great Pyrenees that couldn't be around dogs that I was working with. That first night, I went up to my room at 1 a.m. I said, guys, I can't go anymore. I got to sleep, right? We're going to be back at 8. I got to go. The next morning, these young trainers come up to me like, dude, check it out. And they show me a video of that dog running around playing with other dogs. I'm like, oh my God, and then I look at it, I go, wait a second. When the fuck was this? They're like, dude, that was like 3 a.m. I was like, oh my God, dude, I can't hang with you guys. That's what kind of shit that we see at these things, man. It's a blast. It really is. It's a good time.
Well, rapport is powerful, not just with dogs, but with people too.
Sure.
And honestly, that's why I've always gone to these conferences. I've never been a member. I'm a member now, first year membership, but that's why I would go, is to go to these seminars and to these teachings. But the most important thing was to shake hands, that psychic energy that's communicated, but also to hang out with people.
I've only been to one I spoke at. That's where me and you met in person for the first time.
That's right.
And I had a blast there, man. Like, I'm a social guy. I had a great time. My daughter's coming with me this year. I'm pretty excited.
Dude, bring me a hoodie.
I'll see if I have any. What size are you?
XL.
Okay, I have.
Okay.
Because I just give those things away, and I just gave away a bunch because I don't do anything. Hey, Steph, do I have any XL hoodies so I could bring one to Bill?
Put my name on it, Steph. Don't let him forget.
For Bob? I think I might have an. I'll bring you one.
Okay.
If not, I'll order some before we go. We have a little time for that.
Hot pink, please.
Now everyone's going to be asking for a hoodie. Listen, we did a seminar in St. Louis. I brought in like 4 or 5 cases of clothes, T-shirts, hats, hoodies. I said, there you go. And people are like, how much are they? I'm like, no, dude, it's my working spots get first pick. Just take what you want. I'm not a good businessman. Just take it.
Well, and I have a working spot with you, Larry. And if need be, I will, if there's another dog, because I don't really have whatever. Like I don't even know what dog I'm going to bring.
You shouldn't have bought a working spot. You should have just came. And if you wanted to bring a dog, you could. Like, why don't you hit me up on the side?
I'll hit you up on the side in case somebody needs that working spot.
Sure.
Then I'm willing, if somebody really needs it in Portland, Oregon, to give that up. I mean, I just bought it because it was available, and but I saw it sold out really quick. So, but the other thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of times people, they see the world through the eyes, and this goes into what you were talking about wanting to help your friend. And there's a couple things there, like there's a thing called unsought diagnosis, right? Where we see a problem and we know how to fix it, and we genuinely want to help somebody else based on what we know, but they never asked us, right? And a lot of times that is met with animosity, just like you met with when you try to help your friend. And so I've always made it a point, I don't help unless somebody has asked me to. And especially once they've asked me to, and then they put money behind that, oh, we're off to the races, dude. You know, then I will figure this shit out. We're gonna help this person, and not only that, but I owe them the truth.
Sure.
But what I've found too is that a lot of people have a lens, and I call it an offense lens, where they walk around world looking for things to be offended by.
Oh, today especially.
And I see it in the dog training. I see it all over the world, or all over the place, but especially in the dog training realm. They look at something and they want to be offended by it, instead of flipping that lens and looking for like an appreciative lens.
Sure.
Or something that you admire, an admiration lens. And so that's another thing that I wrote down here, was just people walking around looking for things to be offended by. And sometimes I have to talk to people and be like, man, okay, I get it. What do you like about this? What do you know? And so that's, I think, a big problem.
Well, here's the thing. All right, let's look at the Denise Fenzi thing.
Okay, here we go.
No, seriously, because I see people talking about it.
It's been going
like, I don't have any personal issues with her. I've never had.
I've never met him. I was looking forward. I told Ivan I was looking forward to watching her, dude.
But here's the thing, okay? And again, I'm just going to give my honest opinion. I've given this to several people already that have asked. I don't have a problem with you bringing anyone in to speak at the conference. They've always brought in people from that side of the aisle, right?
Yeah,
I don't care.
It's professional. It's not a balance.
I don't know if it was so intelligent to make her a keynote speaker. And here's why. Not because of her training, whatever, right? I don't know how much success she has with what she does. I don't know, because I don't follow that world too much. But some of the things that she has said are extremely damaging to the balanced side of dog training.
Yes.
Right? The things she has said about e-collars, and their lies. So there's either one of two things here. Again, and I have no personal beef with this woman, right?
Me neither.
There's either one or two ways. Either you don't know what you're talking about at all, which means people put a lot of trust in you and you don't have the knowledge that people think you have, or you're lying. Which one is it? Because the things you've said about e-collars, something to the fact, and again, this was something Dylan exposed, but he's always the bad guy, right? Like, why isn't anyone else ever held accountable? Why are everyone allowed to get away with this stuff?
Why aren't we having these conversations? You know?
Right. Like, before someone said you're going to be the keynote speaker, shouldn't you look at that shit? Like, that's Zach George kind of shit you're saying. I don't know her. Like, I've had little interactions online in a positive way, nothing bad, right? But you have to be fucking honest about everything with this dog stuff. Either you literally don't know what you're talking about, which means people are giving you all this clout for a false reason, or you're lying. Which one is it? Because it's one of the two. Either one I have a problem with, right? Yes. I don't tell someone what they're doing wrong in agility. I have no talent in that. I don't know it. So I stay in my lane. You want agility help? Go to somebody else. You have a dog that doesn't stop barking when it's doing agility? I could fix that for you. I can fix that for you, right? You have a dog that's leaking in the obedience, I could fix that for you. You have a dog that's barking in the crate when it's waiting to come, I could fix that for you, but I can't make you an agility champion. I'm very honest about where the holes are in my game. You understand? But no one wants to hold these people accountable. Ian Dunbar, when he came to the one where I met you at, people treated him like a rock star, like a celebrity. I'm going, am I on a different planet? Like, why does no one get held accountable in the dog world? And we wonder why dogs suffer so much. I'm going to choose the well-being of the dog over the guy with the big social media platform every fucking time. I don't care who I lose for that. I don't care, because you're not important to me anymore if you put yourself in that position. I just don't care, right? So I've had people in the force-free, a couple years ago, I get done doing a seminar in Arkansas. I'm going to dinner with my buddy Rob, the host, and my phone's blowing up. Someone took a TikTok video. As a matter of fact, it's a video I posted, and it was only a before and an after video, and I don't do those. I show the work. But it was something I took from Ivan, and I'm always going to be respectful not to show that stuff publicly, especially for free. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you come work with me, then I'm obligated to teach you everything I know. But I'm going to be respectful to him. You know why? Because I gave him my word, and I won't back down on that. Someone took a video. We took a dog at that seminar that could not be around dogs or people, okay? Could not be around. And I showed what the dog looked like at the beginning of the first session. We only got to do 2 sessions. And what it looked like after the second session, just half hour apart, whatever it was. And it was night and day. Someone took that video, did a voiceover about what I did to this dog at this seminar, how I choked it out and hung it up. And I was devastated, because I'm thinking, if you were there, how could you say that? How could you say that if you were there when we didn't do nothing I didn't do anything like that? Like not even close, right? And then the day after, someone sends me the video, goes, hey, look at the fine print at the bottom, the really tiny print. And I did, and I had to get my glasses to do so. And in really tiny print, it says that they weren't there to see this, but this is what people do when they set the dog up like this, right? But if I went after her the way Dylan goes after Denise or some of these other wackos that cause him hell, then I'm the savage. I'm the bad guy. But they let that piece of shit individual just get away scot-free with what they did to me. And it really fucked me up in the head. I was devastated that someone would believe that I did to a dog what she was claiming I did. But if you read the fine print, she wasn't there. She don't know what really happened, right? That's the force-free side of things that the IACP is making fucking keynote speakers. That's why so many people are bailing from that organization right now. These videos in the past couple of days, I don't want to see them lose people, right? I think they do a good job, and they try to do it. That's our NRA.
That's our
They
NRA.
have to get bigger and stronger, not lose people. But these videos that the training director has put out has made hundreds of people say, I'm gone. I'm not renewing. Like, this is ridiculous. That's not good. I stepped in to kind of let people know, hey, not good. You got to do better here. Right? You're getting people really upset by the work you're showing and the things you're saying because it's so inaccurate. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Well, it'd be like if we take the NRA analogy, it'd be like having somebody that is for gun confiscation, right? Or somebody that is for banning of certain models of firearms, right? To be a speaker there, right?
Yeah. And again, I didn't have a problem with her being a speaker, but I think there's
reflective influence that's gained from
there's
a
people
keynote
that deserve to be a keynote speaker on this side of the aisle. What Jay would be a perfect keynote speaker. Perfect.
Ivan's been up there, and Ivan's one. When I talked to him, we just did a recent podcast for like 4.5 hours, man. And I said to him, I'm looking forward to seeing Denise, and he's like, why? And I was like, because I don't know anything about her, and just the person that I am, like I garner knowledge like little pearls from everyone. And then we started talking about it further, and then he started getting to the question of like, how do we know who's best in the dog world? And how do we know? And we really got into the fact that I'm for having a debate realm of like bringing experts together, having them debate with a moderator, something that's structured that we do in other aspects, other subjects of life, that we can get to a distillation process of knowing what is the truth and what is, like you said, there's so many people that are passing false information. Either they're lying or they are a lunatic, right? It's essentially, or they're right. I mean, either that's the truth. And the crazy thing is, man, it's a salaciousness of this industry too. And I've received messages.
Steph, what does salacious mean? I'm asking my
Let's see if she knows.
Bill's using big words. Bob, my now dog training's using big words.
Salacious is here. Let me put it up for you. A salacious definition. Here you go. Here, let me share this too. So, how do I know? Where's the share screen? Oh, they switched it around a little bit here. So, salacious is allow. Okay. Here we go. Salacious. Oh, salacious. Sexual manner in excessive and scandalous ways. It's not sexual.
Wow. Now Bill's hitting on me on this live, Stephanie. My junk looks salacious.
Salacious. Well, something that lecherous. Okay, well, maybe okay, thanks, Larry, for bringing that to my attention. It's not salacious.
Smarter than you think. Listen,
what would be a better word? Like, not obnoxious, but if the guy's in the comments based, I don't know what we said.
Listen,
based,
why is there such an argument, right? You're either 100% this shouldn't have happened to Denise, or 100% she should fucking die in the cars with her. That's how people are taking this, right? Like, you talk about conflict and divisiveness. This hasn't been good. Like, people have to answer for this stuff.
Yeah.
Dylan, I know he's getting all the hate and he's the devil, right? But he's the only one exposing a lot of this stuff. And some people don't like the route he takes. I get it, right? Yeah. I get it. But if he doesn't, who was? This is what maybe Dylan don't know either. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that was me when I saw two people destroying the balance side by destroying dogs and then teaching people how to destroy dogs. I lost a lot of friends too and got a lot of hate. You know why? People said I was jealous of their success. I wanted the attention. Really? Have I ever been someone that looks like to build my business to this big, huge thing? I'm a one-man show still. But these two had people so fucking fooled at what they were doing. I couldn't believe that people that call themselves dog trainers were watching these two jerk-offs train dogs and charge people to their school, like teaching them how to destroy dogs and making a fortune all of it. I was sickened by it.
Trainer.
All the stuff, all the hate Dylan is getting now for what he's doing, I got the hate 20 years ago for it. Same thing. I just gave up with it because I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care what anyone else does. When I see good people, I'm going to promote them. And that's why I promoted Dylan, because he's a damn good dog trainer, and he's doing things the right way. He's not putting fucking e-collars up dogs' buttholes while he has 3 around their snout. Like, you know, that's what people are trying to say. He's like, motherfucker, that's his dark humor, and you guys are falling for it. You're fucking falling for it. He's playing you like a fiddle. You understand? Playing you like a fiddle. But guess what? Give me a room full of dog trainers at the IECP, and I need someone to watch and train my dog. I'd send them to him long before I'd do anyone else in that room. That's just the God's honest truth, because I know what he's doing. I understand why he's doing it, right? And also, going back to the motherfuckers out there who think play is a fad and it's just this thing you can't just play with. That's because you don't know what you're talking about or the purpose behind all of it, you dumb motherfuckers, right? They don't get it. They don't understand it. So when you understand the value of truly productive play, when you tap into these dogs' genetics and you fulfill them in a way that makes them feel whole and addicted to you, but you're also setting very strict and clear rules and boundaries and enforcing them, and then you understand punishment the way some of us do, I don't think people understand what you could accomplish. I don't think they get what you could accomplish. Then if you start to buy into this, you're going to stop seeing these people film the client with the dog in a muzzle, holding it back on a 5-foot leash, and the dog's growling. Look how bad this dog is. Look at it now. And it's walking around like a robot. Walking around like a robot. Look at what I did. Yeah, you did that. You're right. You did that. You did nothing. You did fucking nothing. You did nothing with a dog that wasn't bad to begin with. So who the hell are you kidding? But the general public is so easy to brainwash and fool, they don't even know what the fuck they're looking at. So I'm a little tired of that stuff. And now whatever I think, I say, and I don't care anymore. I don't care who likes it. I don't care who doesn't like it. You know, I just don't care.
Well, and I would like to correct you, dude. Like it's not, you did not do nothing. You did something to that dog.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Like you're doing something to that dog. You're reinforcing and giving this dog no other choice.
Yep.
And dude, it breaks my heart.
Every day we see those videos. You got the music going, the dramatic music, the before and the afters. Motherfucker, listen, people were doing that 20, 30 years ago, long before you. And it didn't last then, and it's not going to last now. You know, I've been training dogs 10 years, 15 years. Oh, have you? That's fucking cute. Because at 15 years in the game, I thought I knew everything too. And then I went and I sought out the best, and I was like, holy shit, I know fucking nothing. I know nothing, right? But that's where some of these people are today. I've been training dogs 10 years, 15 years. Oh, that's very cute. Really cute. Like, where'd your education come from? Now, I know people that have been training dogs 5 years. That'll blow most people out the water, but they went to the right people.
Yes,
and they had the right people.
They have the right mental attitude, and
that's right.
And not only that, it's like I've always said this, dude. The most powerful thing that we can say as individuals is "I was wrong," and being able to lay down your ego and not only look and to search out new knowledge, but be able to apply it. And be able to break down the old belief system that you had. And
that's hard for people, Bill, because they don't retain it and they can't apply it. And it takes a special teacher and someone that wants to learn, like truly wants to learn, not just hear it. What do most people do? I talked to Bart about this for years.
Yes.
When I first went to that first Bart Ballone seminar 15 years ago, 16 years ago, whenever it was, I was hooked. I was floored on that world. I only kept going back to him, nobody else.
Yeah, same.
And at one point he said, why do you keep coming back? You know this stuff. I said, no, Bart, I take something every time. You don't understand.
Yes.
I said, let me ask you something. There's several big name trainers that come as much as I do, but I haven't seen them change the way they train at all. And he said something I'll never forget. He said, first of all, you just got it. You wanted it. And they come for entertainment. And he was right. A lot of people go to these seminars to be entertained. Oh my God, it was amazing. Look at that. Then look at them a month later. They're doing the same thing they did before they went in to learn something new. And then they go from seminar to seminar, all these great people, and master nothing. It's just entertainment. It's a social thing, you know? And I always tell people at a seminar, my goal is that when you leave here, whether it's 2 or 3 days, I can give you one thing that you could truly implement immediately to make massive change. That's my goal. And it works out well for a lot of people because we see it. They give the feedback, they show it, they talk about it, and people still don't want to buy into it. You understand? Yeah. So they're missing out, man. They're missing out.
And I've always said, people, like, we do have this wall of beliefs that we kind of put up based on the knowledge that we have, the experiences that we have. And there's got to be a way that we got to let that information in, even if it offends us, even if there's something that we disagree with, be able to take it in anyway. And You know, and do you think that there is a type of behavior that seminars, I mean, only we have very limited time in a seminar.
Yeah.
And one thing I can get, like if I just leave you with one thing here to go forward, do you think that there's any dogs or situations that just can't be helped?
Yeah, but rare. Like it's so rare, Bill. Like listen, I can't talk too much about it. Recently at a seminar, there was a dog that came in from a shelter, was going to be put down. Like a true, like when I tell you committed fucking intense dog. And I can't go into too many details.
Okay.
This dog's literally going to be put to sleep because it's out of control with a certain obsession. The problem is they can't use anything on this dog. Nothing.
Because of the shelter dictates
yes.
that.
And at the same time, just trying to handle this dog causes a massive medical issue. Massive. So it's like, okay, I got 2 days. We could do what we have to do when we're here, but how do we make that last when it goes back? And I did that. I am very hard on myself and very critical and very rarely satisfied. Like very rarely. The day after the seminar, when I got a video of that dog doing the impossible on command with nothing, I couldn't have been happier. That's how fast we made progress when you're allowed to do what's needed. Okay. And it made me really think, how can I get this dog where it needs to be? And it wasn't easy. Believe me, I had to really think and go into everything I've ever learned. How could I utilize this in a way that's so unrealistic and so unfair to both dog and human in this situation? Because seminars aren't ideal for teaching, right? Or for learning. It's hard. It's massively unfair. How could I accomplish that? But because I've been doing this so long and I've gotten pretty good at teaching people and understanding what they need in that moment, the shit that we got done blew my mind. It really did. And it was about as difficult as a case as you can get at a seminar. And I wish I could have filmed it and elaborated more on it, because people would be like, there's no way you got that in 2 15-minute sessions. 2. So imagine what you could do in 30 days in the proper environment. But instead, they're going to allow that dog to die. Come on. This is the stuff that Dylan talks about and he gets fired up about, right? Because 20 years ago, when I was his age, I'm taking a very similar route. I am.
Me too, dude.
Very similar route. That's and the reason I don't now is because my wife and kids get very upset with me when I take it there, right? And I have to really pay attention to that stuff, you know? I have to, because my daughter especially gets very upset with me. So I try to curb myself as much as I can. But sometimes I can't help it. I say, fuck it, I'm letting it fly. I just can't help it. Like, this shit irks me. I've been doing this too long to still be upset 30 years later. It's crazy. And it's getting worse. Like, how is it getting worse? Like, science in every field in the world is getting better, right? When I was 15 years old, I was 5'10", right? 15 years old, doing some cool things with a basketball, dunking a basketball. That was a novelty for a 15-year-old white kid back then. Today, kids that age with less than me are jumping over cars and doing crazy shit, right? Because the science and training and exercise and sports is through the roof. Well, guess what? It is with dogs too. So when people want to recite dog shit that was put in books 150 fucking years ago, that tells you who they really are, right? It tells you exactly where their mindset is.
Well, and do you know about the 100th monkey phenomenon?
No.
That reminds me of the 100 monkey.
Can you imagine spanking all those monkeys at one time?
100 monkey theory. So critical mass, right? When learned behavior. So they gave the little monkeys like sandy potatoes, and they gave it to a bunch of these little groups of monkeys. And it's essentially, one of the monkeys learned that if he goes down and washes the sand off of the potatoes, that it's much more enjoyable. So he started doing it, and then the monkeys that saw him do it started doing it, and then they looked, and it's called like the morphic genetic field of resonance around the world that we're all kind of attached to, that knowledge base spreads without necessarily being taught that.
Right.
And so
right,
that's
right.
what it reminds me of. And when you say basketball, for me, it was skateboarding.
Yeah.
I was a big skateboarder. I wonder if I got a picture of me skateboarding over here.
I hope not.
But dude, I was good, bro.
I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah,
Just look like a flame going by on wheels.
Little smoke. But,
Jose Mani wanted to know what I was drinking tonight. Eagle Rare, Jose.
Eagle Rare, what is that? Bourbon?
Yeah, bourbon.
Apple juice?
Bourbon. Yeah.
And I remember talking to Dylan, and I talked to Dylan, and I hope to do one of these live streams with him. And there are some things, even talking to Ivan about Dylan, there are some things that I don't agree with the way that he interacts on social media, but he's also an individual that has the rights to do that as he chooses to. And I'm all about freedom, man. Even if something offends me, I will protect your right to do it. Like I watched all these protesters on the corner, and I was telling them I'm thankful that they're out there protesting.
I'd like to run those motherfuckers over.
I know, but you got to let me finish. Even though I think you're idiots, I still like the fact that you're out here protesting because we belong to a free country.
When I drive past protesters over here in town, I stop, I honk, and I start harassing and laughing. I just laugh at them. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. You don't even know what you're protesting. Fucking idiots.
But that's the beauty about being individuals and respecting everybody's right. But what I see in Dylan is I see a passion and a love for dogs.
Sure, 100%.
That he sees being euthanized. That he sees this barrier of beliefs that humans are getting in the way of dogs truly obtaining a successful, fulfilling.
Well, he spends time in the shelters.
That's right. That's right.
He's gotten a real view of the worst because that creates, again, 25 years ago, I did that and I quit doing it. I couldn't do it.
I can't either.
Heartbreaking for me. And you're dealing with people that are, and listen, not all, I get it. There's good people out there in those systems, right? But a lot of times these shelters are run by absolute devils who have no interest of the animal. That's where he's at now, and he's seeing that. That builds a lot. One of the lunatic individuals that he deals with all the time, she took a video of me from like 10 years ago talking about punishment, which, by the way, I don't use bonkers, never have, right? If you do, I don't care. Like, I'm not trying to interfere with you, right? I have my reasons why I don't. But then combined it with a more recent abuse case, trying to make it look like I'm promoting and justifying what this piece of shit's doing in the video. There were a couple of balance trainers that stepped up. Joanna Rowe, thank you, Joanna. You're the first person I remember saying, that doesn't seem like Larry to me. I don't know if anyone else did speak up, right? But when he retaliates against that same lunatic that did that to me, he's the devil. Did you hear how vile he is with her? He should be vile. She's the devil and deserves the worst things on planet Earth to happen to her because she's too comfortable and enjoys killing dogs too much. I've been doing this 30 years. I've recommended 3 dogs be euthanized. 3 in 30 years. And they were truly, truly dangerous dogs to the immediate humans in the home. Not to the outside public, right? To the immediate family, like truly dangerous. 3 in 30 years. When you have someone that gets so casually recommend a dog be euthanized, there's something off with you. There's something off with you. So fuck her too. I understand where he's coming from, but no one wants to get behind that, right? You're the bad guy if you go after that individual. But all of you sat by and watched her go through some real nasty shit towards me, towards him, to other people, and it's okay. But when you retaliate in a bigger way, ooh, you're the devil. And listen, I've been very vocal. There are certain things I can't get behind, right? Because it hurts people around me. There's nothing anyone could say that offends me. I don't get offended. Words I don't give a fuck about, right? But if it's going to affect people that I care about, right? If you say something, and even let's like say Jay, if you say something that hurts Jay so much that he can't, like, that's my guy. I'm always going to be loyal to Jay. Always.
Amen.
Because that's what I have with him. That's who he is, right? One of the best individuals I have ever met in my life. So I'm always going to stand by his side. And if you're upset by that, then I'm upset by that. It's that simple. And that's who I am as a friend. You understand?
Of course.
And that's why I got my fucking meditation beats that my wife brought me over. Jay's going to be happy to see that when I start getting fired up.
Does he tell you a meditation to say?
He's like, I had to get into breath work and stuff, you know, because I get in a lot of health problems and I stress a lot and my temper gets bad. So I needed many different things to start learning how to calm myself before I start. Listen, Bill, when I was on the job for 25 years as a federal agent, that kept me in a straight line. Like I had every 5 years was a new top secret background check and they put you through the ringer like it's your first day on the job. So I had to stay in line. The second I retired, I felt the old me coming back. And that's why when I look at certain individuals like that motherfucker the other day, what's his name? Jake Bartola, maybe, made a comment, but didn't use my name, but I knew he was talking about me. So I called his ass out. Motherfucker, I see you in person. There's a problem. And there's a couple of more individuals. There's one in Texas. There's one in New Jersey that if I come across them in public, it would be very difficult for me not to slap the shit out of them because now I have nothing holding me back. I don't have to deal with my job hanging over me all the time where you can call my office and say, hey, this guy got into a bar fight. Well, yeah, if Stephanie's going, what about me? You got to be responsible to me, but I can't help it. That's who I am, right? So if you want to run your mouth on social media, when I see you, I'm going to smack you in the mouth in front of people. Just remember that. That's for you, Jake Bartola, right? I believe that's his name. The other one in South Jersey, the motherfucker used to call me for help and I never turned them away. Then he's with that fat fuck phrase running his mouth about me. You know you are too. I see you. I'm going to smack the shit out of you. And that little bitch down in fucking Houston who runs his mouth, I'm going to smack the shit out of you too. Remember that. Sorry, babe. I'm done.
Damn, there comes Steph.
I'm sorry, babe. But it's true. People are very tough behind the keyboard. You understand?
Dude, it has changed. Oh, there he is. He's here. Jake Bartolo is here. He heard you.
Good. Good. Yeah. Run your mouth, motherfucker. Run your mouth.
I have no clue.
Go find that guy.
Well, and that's where we come from, Larry. Is like that, you know, before the internet, before any of this stuff, man. Like this, like we would go back and before guns and knives, you know, it's like, let's go duke this out, dude. Let's go figure this out. We've reached the point where there's only one thing that's going to solve this problem. And it's a knuckle sandwich, bud.
You know the problem though, Bill? Today you smack someone in the mouth, they file charges and they sue you because they're such little bitches. They're such little bitches in their fucking Birkenstocks and their flip-flops, and they run to the police department and file, he hit me, I'm getting a lawyer. You know, arrest him, officer, you little bitch. That's what they are, right? That's what they are today. That's exactly what you're dealing with. That's why they're comfortable running their mouth, you know?
And they're the little bitches. That's what they need to realize. They're soft.
Yes, they are.
They don't have any semblance. And that's what I was talking about with Jay about being a dangerous man. It's like we have the ability, but we keep it bottled up for a reason. But don't tempt me. Don't take my kindness as a weakness, because you'll find out that there is a monster that lives in me.
That motherfucker who just commented, he put himself at the top of the list. Now I will go find him. Like I will intentionally go to his area to look for him. Say, okay, Stephanie.
Okay.
All right.
We'll change the subject, Stephanie.
Sorry.
What do we want to talk about now?
I'm in so much trouble.
I know, dude. I can tell by your face.
But she knows. She's been with me since I'm a kid. She knows. I'm not talking shit. She knows.
Yes.
I worked very hard to leave that part of me someplace else. But people like that, they bring it out of me very easily. And here's the thing too, Bill. I tried to be better and do the right thing because I don't ever want to bring heat on Jay and Joel. They don't cause waves on social media. You understand? And so I don't want to be the one guy that brings that light to wrap them under the same umbrella I am. So I do try to curb myself to be respectful to them. You know, it's just like if I was certified through NAPOPO or TWC, I'm going to always be respectful of the brand.
Yes.
And I'm not going to do anything to let down the people who created that brand. That's just me. I'm a loyal guy like that. I think for me, that's going to come with some responsibility where I have to kind of change my ways a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Dude, the comments are flowing in, bro.
Yeah, totally, Ryan. I'm so scared right now.
It's so hungry. Controlled aggression.
Hey, that's my friend Megan. Megan's awesome.
Yeah, Megan. Love you, Megan. Yeah, she is awesome.
Every night I get on one of these, I say, I'm not going to get fired up. I do. I tell myself that I'm not going to get fired up about nothing. And somehow we get there.
Well, Jay's capable too, dude. Jay is
No. You know, Jay has a very special mind. Listen, he did the podcast for the IACP recently, right? And one of the first questions they asked is, if you and Larry got into a fight, who would win? And Jay was very respectful and politically correct with it. And I interrupted that. And I said, no. I said, listen, I like to fight and I could fight. I could box. I have a boxing background. I could fight. He'd kill me. He's different level. You understand?
He's
like
animal.
Very different level. Like
he'll die before he loses.
Well, he's a very lethal person. I don't think people understand at his level of jiu-jitsu where he's at, and combined with his mindset, right? Like he has that mind. Like I know guys that have decent belts in jiu-jitsu that I would wipe them off the things. They have no heart. They're good at what they do. If I got on the ground with them, they twist me, but they have no heart. They don't have that killer instinct, right? You have Michael Jordan, or you could be a LeBron James where you have no heart. You're just a little bitch, right? Has a great career, don't get me wrong. Jay has all of that wrapped up into one. He's a very, very unique individual, and I have a great deal of respect for him. I really do, you know, but he's a legit dude.
Well, and he's also come from a background. I remember listening to him talking on Chad when they did their dog training podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about how he watched his dad grab a guy by the beard and beat the shit out of him holding his beard. And I'm just like, I'm grabbing my beard. I'm like, oh yeah. And I stay always out of arm's reach of Jay.
Let me tell you, our dinners, because we usually have dinner by ourselves because there's so many people and we just need a little break because of the nighttime thing. I used to think that I truly had the most unique upbringing background out of anyone you've ever seen. And I do. Once I met Jay and we started swapping stories, I was floored, bro. Like floored. Like different level, man. Like if you didn't know him, you wouldn't be able to believe some of the shit, you know. Yeah. But I get it. I know him. I understand him.
The person that he's turned out today.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's what I don't know, how he got to where he is. Like that's remarkable to me because he shouldn't be. He has every excuse not to be. You know what I mean? He really does.
Have you ever used your car as a crate? I mean, I'm not talking about going to events. I'm not talking about, because I can see like being right next to my car. Like if your dog, first off, have you ever had a dog that you can't shut up in a crate?
No.
And then say you did, have you ever used your car as a tool for training?
No. Listen, why that's so dangerous, right? I travel a lot with the seminars. Anyone who competes in dog sports, working dogs, like your dog being in the car is a normal part of life, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to keep them safe. When I went up to Long Island a couple of weeks ago to do a seminar, the weather was supposed to be nice and cool. That's great. I travel with 3 crates. One, the Rufflin that Frankie rides in the truck. I put one in the hotel, and I take an extra one because if it's too warm outside, I'm going to bring him in the facility. Plain and simple, right? So the weather was supposed to be nice and cool, and I left him in the truck, and it started getting warmer. I said, you know what? I'm going to turn the truck on and just let it be in there with the air on. Well, I have a new 4Runner. It's pretty new to me. Thank God I'm neurotic and check frequently, even though I know the air's on, because what I didn't know about that car is it turns off after a certain amount of time on its own, and it got hot out, you know? So it would be so easy for that to turn into a disaster, but I never, ever leave my dog without constantly checking. I give breaks. I say, guys, I got to check on the puppy because he's young. You know what I mean? I got to check on the dog like real quick. You know what I mean? And when I went out there and saw that the car was turned off, I was like, holy fuck. And then I was able to go online and figure out how to stop it from turning off, because I'll run the air all day if I have to, but I will check like every 30 minutes, like literally every 30 minutes. You have to, you just
not even that, dude, every 15 minutes. I mean,
yeah. Well, if it's hot out, totally different thing. Then I'm just bringing them in. I'm not even keeping them out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Same with me. And I've seen a lot of, as of lately, a lot of people saying that they use their car as a training tool. And I've seen people with monitoring, they have this waggle thing that sends texts and things to you. And I thought about how many dog events I've gone to with multiple dogs.
Yeah.
And either those windows are all the way down, I'm under shade. I'll even bring a pop-up tent. But if there's ever like even over 90 degrees or whatever it is, I'm looking for a place inside the facility. Sure. I can never, ever think about the time that a dog that I had that was unruly, that I decided to put him in the car because I don't want my car getting torn up. Or, I mean, even if there's a crate in the car, it was perplexing to me that so many people have this attitude of using their car as a training
I don't understand that at all. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And when you say if I ever have a dog that I couldn't stop barking, Frankie was the problem with the barking, right? Like it was bad, but when I'm gone, that's a problem. And I knew I had to get a bark collar on him eventually. I don't like using a bark collar until I get him through the e-collar training. I want him to be so I pushed it a little sooner than possible. 6 months, I started him. 2-3 days, I had him completely done. Then I was able to switch to the bark collar. Now, with that being said, another piece of shit out there, I forget his name. Someone must have said something positive about me. And he goes, oh, yeah, isn't he the guy who like fries his dog with an e-collar for going in the crate? Like that's what they turned this shit into. Yeah. Where did I ever say I use an e-collar to deal with his dirty dog issue? Right? But people run with that shit. These are these force-free people that are fucking evil. But when Dylan goes after them, he's the bad guy. Where was the people jumping on him when he said that for me? Nobody. Where's all the big names at the IACP getting their fucking awards and speaking? No one. They just don't. Let's say, come on, Michael Shikashio, you're amazing. Yeah, maybe he's a very nice guy. I'm yet to see him train a fucking dog. Where's the dogs? Why do you allow people to get away with this shit? And I just threw out that name because it popped in my head because of what hypocrites we have on the balance side of dog training.
I want hoisted up that are
they praise these people and put them on a pedestal that rip us down. I don't get it. I can't figure that out. Dylan's calling those people out and they don't like it. I get where he's coming from, right? I'm going to be honest. I'm not just jumping on your side because Dylan says bad things, right? He knows, I think, some of the things I wish he wouldn't say. But most, I'm behind. I get it. I get where it comes from. You know what I mean?
I do.
I totally get it.
And I get it because I've received, and it's a bunch of assumptions. People don't know me at all.
Yeah.
And when I find out that when I finally do talk to somebody on the other side of the aisle here, that the one thing that we have in common is that we love dogs. And one thing that they find out about me is the last thing I'd ever want to do is hurt a dog.
There's different sides on that side, right? You have the people that have their ideology because they truly do care about the animals and they think they're doing the right thing. They don't know any different. I know it because I've experienced it.
Yeah, I used to be
Then you have the evil people that only care about their ideology. They know they're full of shit. They know they can't help dogs. They'll medicate them, they'll put them down, but they don't want you getting a hold of someone who knows what they're doing because then their lie will be exposed. So they're very different on that side, just like there's very different on the so-called balance side. You understand?
Yes, of course.
Like when someone used to lump me in the same category as someone that I despise, I would like send them a message. Don't, please, if you like him, don't like me. It's impossible to like both of us because he's a piece of shit and destroying dogs. How could you like us both? but it's because the average person, and again, I think this is where most dog trainers fail. I think most dog trainers like to market to each other and show up for each other, when the numbers that should be more important to us are the general dog owning public. That's what the force-free people do. They have the numbers because of that. So everything that I've put out for the most part since 20 years ago, being on social media, especially with the e-collar stuff, how do we get the mentality towards that tool changed to the general public? It has to be more than just what's more effective, forward conditioning or backward conditioning. There's a reason for everything, right? It's not just about the science. How do we convince the general public that this is a better route to take? How? There has to be more than dog trainer lingo. You understand?
Yes.
Now, I can honestly say, I think I've done a halfway decent job at convincing a lot of people that were 100% against that tool that, holy shit, maybe it's not that bad. That was my goal, period. The general public. You as a dog trainer, utilize it how you want. I know how I utilize it, but I know how I've gotten thousands of people to make the switch and think, oh, that tool is not the devil. So everything, I just wish more dog trainers, everyone, no matter what your status is in this industry, would look at the bigger picture. How do you convince the numbers of the general public that this is the way to go, not the Zach George way? And I don't see a lot of dog trainers putting emphasis on that. They try to impress each other. That's a problem, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's an appeal to emotion, and the emotion, that's why corporations spend 10 times the amount that they do in marketing to appeal to your emotion, because you're 10 times more likely to act when you base something off emotion than you are on pure intellect, right? And so that's the one advantage that the other side of the aisle has, is that they appeal to emotion, and they say you should never ever correct a dog. You should never, and you know what? It doesn't feel good, right? When we do stuff, when we provide boundaries for dogs, for kids, for our spouse or anything, it doesn't necessarily feel good, but it's necessary. I remember my father always telling me that that doing what's right. Joel just messaged me. That's why I was looking at this message. Doing what's right doesn't always feel good. And that's what we need to focus on, is like, look, this is, but doing what's right by these dogs, and what I hear you saying when we talk about punishment, it's actually liberating, you guys.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea.
It's liberating when you get it.
That's why when force-free people see it, they go, holy shit, I'm bought in. I get it. Force-free people, think about that. Like we're all not lying to you. We are all not making shit up. We're not trying to market ourselves or sell you on things, right? I'm a one-man show. Dylan's a one-man show. Jay is a one-man show. We're all focused on the same stuff. Why? Why do we believe so heavily on it? And why do we get the results that you're not? What do you think we're trying to do? We don't have big, massive facilities with 20 trainers working for us, making millions of dollars a year. We're all a one-man show. And we've all learned so much from the same individual, right? That's it. Like, it's really important to us. We want people to understand. The reason I brought up this conversation that me and Jay had 8 years ago at the conference, people were still debating punishment back then and didn't know what they were talking about. They didn't. And 8 years later, we're dealing with the same stuff.
I think they want to fit it into something that's easily definable.
Yes.
And it just doesn't work that way, because it's case dependent. And it's
and the video that I had to respond to, everything about it was wrong. Lack of emotion. Don't use emotion. Are you fucking kidding me? Using your emotions is massive. Like, there has to be an emotional connection there, because you're trying to change how the dog feels emotionally about everything around it, especially the things that he has issues with. If we can't change emotions, you're not getting anywhere. You're just flattening the dog, and that bullshit's going to come out somewhere else, right? If you eliminate, let's say you eliminate a dog from going after dogs, but the dog looks like a shell of what it used to be. There's trainers out there that are very happy with that. I could never be happy with that. If that dog can't run around and have a good time and play around other dogs, you didn't do your job. You didn't do your job. But people can't admit that. Oh, look at him. He couldn't be around a dog 2 weeks ago. And now he's plastered in a down, lifeless. And they're fucking proud of that.
Even look at him.
Yes. Yeah, he's not going to look at the dog because it hurts when I look at the dog.
Mm.
Of course he's not going after that. And you think you did something? Come on, man. Why am I getting more results doing online stuff in one session than you are in person? Why? Is it because I'm some kind of genius? No. Is it because I'm the best dog trainer on the planet? No. But I know this stuff and I know how to teach it. That's the difference, right? And I'm not the only one. But people can't, the more and more people that are catching on now, they can't ignore. Listen, we have people every now and then that will speak up at a seminar. This makes no sense. And before I could say something or Jay could say something, someone will stand up that's worked with us before. I go, oh, no. Let me explain how important this is, because their life was changed by it. You know, there's people at home right now watching this that have been struggling with the same bad behaviors from their dogs for years and have spent $30,000 on board and trains or private lessons, a combination of both, and the dog's never gotten better. I know because I talk to them every week, every single week. $30,000 on dog training today is not uncommon with no results, none. And then you know what people do? They blame the owner. The owner didn't do their homework, right? Well, let me ask you something, because I asked that same owner when they worked with me online for 2 videos. Send me 1 video of you doing basic obedience with your dog on leash.
Okay.
You could reward with food now and then, mix it up. Sometimes you're rewarding, sometimes you're not. Send me a video of that same person on a long line playing tug with that dog, a few minutes long. From those 2 videos, I could tell you so much right there. And you know what they send me? Almost always they send me horrible work. They know nothing. And I tell them, okay, you're doing everything wrong. And they get all down in the feels. No. Don't feel bad. Because if you were doing everything right and you have these problems, it makes it that much harder to know where to start. This here, you're going to see improvement in your dog immediately because you know nothing. I'm going to focus on you, not the dog. Every trainer you've worked with has taught you nothing. You know how I know? You just showed me you know nothing. And you paid this person for private lessons. You paid this person for board and train, and you know nothing. They failed you. Trainers don't want to hear that. I see it over and over and over. And I have lost many friends because I'm not quiet about this. I'm outspoken about it. I don't give a fuck, man. I really don't. I'm going to be truthful about it.
Well, and I think too that, you know, when there's a certain saying that says that if you try something over and over again, the definition of insanity, right, is doing the same thing over and over again. We got to switch it up. And do you know what it reminds me of when you say somebody, when their lack of emotion, do you know what word comes into my mind? Psychopath.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because they lack emotion, right?
Yeah.
And when you play, I mean, when you say that they're doing it wrong, is it on the obedience or on the play side?
All of it. They're making no sense to their dog. Do everything wrong. Listen, there's times this used to scare me, Bill, when someone would show up to a seminar where they would have a dog. First of all, dogs make the seminar, right? So when you have more unruly dogs with different problems, people get to really see exciting stuff, and they like that. But the truth is, I used to panic when someone would come in with a dog that wanted to do nothing. No food drive, no play drive, just a potato, right? I used to panic because I'd be too worried about all the people that came to see stuff, and this is what we're doing. It don't bother me anymore because now I say, okay, pick up that leash. We're going to work with the leash and the collar. and I'm just going to work on your handling skills. We're going to work through basic stuff, and your reward is going to be freedom, run around with the dog, right? You can't imagine just the other day, Sunday, at a seminar in South Dakota. Nice woman there, like not a dog trainer, owner, problem dog, mixed breed, bit a couple people at the seminar, not his fault. And I stuck up for him very quickly. Like, if you do things that's going to make him uncomfortable, you're going to get bit. And so I said, let me see what your trainer has showed you, right? And she had nothing. The dog's just doing what he wants, no control. I said, give me the leash. I said, I'm going to show you something. Basic stuff. Sit, heel. Sit, heel. Let's go, buddy. Come on, sit. Yeah, freedom, boom. In 5 minutes, that dog flew in and dove into a play bow and went ballistic with me. Ballistic. And now we had a good game going. He never tried to bite me, and I corrected him a couple of times. Hey, buddy, I'm going to give, you know what his reward was? He couldn't pick his nose up off the ground when she was walking him and trying to deal with him. Wouldn't look at her, nose to the ground.
Totally distracted.
Food, not a problem. You're going to do this with me now. When I put you in command, whatever we're doing, that's what you're going to do. When the nose goes down, hey, buddy, don't do that. Let him know very quickly. And the look on his face was priceless. He was literally went, like, he was like, you, seriously? Right? That's what we did. But guess what his reward became? Sniff the ground. Free. Now you go do what you want. Be a dog. When I tell you to get back here, we're doing stuff, that's what you're going to do. That immediately, within 5 minutes, led to that dog playing balls to the walls with me. That simple. He had nothing to offer in the beginning, right? But the second we show him, hey, buddy, you got to do this. But I'm going to give you an opportunity to do that thing that you love right there once you give me this. Amazing things can happen very, very fast. But here's the important thing, Bill. Anyone could talk about it. But when you show people on the spot, they go, fuck, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome to watch, because I would have never taken it there, right? We're going to try to convince them to play with us or try to convince them to take food. There's so many, man, go back to what's the most basic thing you could teach a dog? Everyone says, sit, calm this. How about be still? How about just be still? How about stop trying to get away from you and moving and fidgeting? How about just be still? Most dogs can't be still. Ask for that first, then we'll move forward. Dude, I can go on for days about this shit.
Well, just be, you know. Yeah. And I remember, like, I had a lesson just the other day where I was like, this is what I want right here. And the people were just like dumbfounded.
Now,
like,
on my end, I can't see what you did, but it looked like you twisted your nipples. Okay. It looked like this is what I want right here. Okay. I didn't see that part.
Okay, he's back out there. I have a 19-year-old dog here that's staying with me, 19, and he just wandered in here. He wandered in. He's deaf and blind. He wandered in here, walked around in a circle, and wandered back. I was gonna give him a little showing on the camera.
19. Here. That's awesome.
19 years old, Zeus. I've had him since he's a puppy. He's not my dog. He's a client's dog. They're down in Costa Rica right now, but very fortunate that I have. And that's where, I mean, when you're talking about this particular dog sniffing the ground was the reward, that's what I'm talking about when we talk about punishment is, and motivation is up to that individual dog. Like we look at what this dog enjoys and what this dog likes, and we utilize
we don't decide
that.
What's rewarding. The dog tells us what's rewarding. We don't decide.
Right.
But you know what people do there, Bill? They would try to beg the dog to take food from them. They'd kill themselves trying to get the dog to take, oh, you know what? Let's starve him for a while. He has no food drive. Don't feed him later. I don't do that. Like, the dogs eat. You know, I give them the food. If they eat it, great. If not, no problem. We put it back. But I'm not going to alter a dog's food for you to try to, because if that dog's not taking a food reward at any time, he's telling me that's not very rewarding.
Nope.
So why am I going to try to manipulate that? You understand? No, I'm going to find, when I get a German short hair pointer here, and I get a ton of them, I don't know why. Some of them, the genetics run so deep, when I go outside with them, they never see me. They're at the wood line just looking for birds, right? So I ask for something so little. Here, come here, buddy. He takes one step toward me, free, go find birds. And I'll let him do that 5-10 minutes. Then the next time I might ask him to come a little more, right? And then I let him go find birds. And in 10, 15, 20 minutes, sometimes maybe the second session, that dog doesn't mind giving you what you ask for because he knows what that leads to. Doing what he loves. Go be a bird dog. What am I going to try to convince you to take food when you want to go do what's genetically deep inside you? No, go do what you love, buddy. I'm going to be part of it. You get in there and start looking. I might get there with you, but hey, check this shit out, right? That's pretty cool stuff. But I don't get trying to convince the dog to take what you find rewarding. Makes no sense to me.
Well, and it's you. That's the problem here, is us thinking that we know the dog better than they know themselves, or the way that they're baked, that their intrinsic desires that are baked in. And I remember Robert Cabral saying one time, he was like, we can only curate that which is present within the dog. We can't make them something that they're not. And that kind of illustrates what we're talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one more before we go, because we've been chatting here for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So the other thing that breaks my heart, and I talked to Tyler Muto a couple live streams ago, and we started to get into, I call veterinarians that are that give behavioral advice, hills and pills.
Yeah.
So the Hills Science Diet and then the pills.
Yeah.
And he started to talk about even a medicine that he was on. And when he came off of this medicine, he felt like he was getting electrocuted in his brain. And I went down a deep dive onto this, and some of these medicines that they have you ever heard of akathisia?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I think that it's something that we need to consider. So akathisia is a neuropsychiatric movement disorder characterized by distressing, uncontrollable inner restlessness and an intense compulsive need to move, most commonly the legs, like restless leg syndrome. Right. And the thing is that it's a side effect of coming off of these psych meds that they, and a lot of these meds, the exact same meds they prescribe to dogs.
It's crazy. It's my daughter is starting to get into that kind of stuff. Like, she's pursuing her PhD in neuroscience, and right now she's doing an internship in a dog lab. She's doing a lot of stuff with dogs. It's amazing. But the one thing I told her about, they're starting to look into psychedelics for dogs, and I wanted her to tap into it. It's fairly new field out there. I don't know too much about it.
I know a lot about it, dude. I know a lot about it.
There's people that are diving pretty deep in that. As I said, hey, look into this, see what you could find out. It might be something for you to pursue here. She's coming with me to the conference because I turned her on to Melanie Uday, right?
Yep. I'll be there. I'll be at that class too. So
she's been following Melanie, and when she saw she was doing the science summit, she said, "Is there any way I can go with you?" I said, "Fuck yeah, hell yeah, you're going with me." So we're staying all week there because we're gonna go to the science thing so she can meet Melanie, hopefully have a little chat with her, sit in the class. And then, I say, the last day, you want to come home the last day, they have a gala, you got to get dressed up. And she's like, I want to go to the gala. I'm like, okay, we'll stay for that too. So we'll be there all week. And
bring a tux, Larry. Bring a tux.
Okay, I'll bring the Dumb and Dumber tux.
Dude, I'll be blue. You be orange.
But I'm excited that she's going with me. And I hope, she always had such a natural knack with the animals. And it's crazy how it's kind of coming full circle, even though that's not what she went to college for. Dogs are popping up in her life again. And it's freaking awesome. It really is.
I like seeing that. And, that it's her idea, right?
Yeah.
It's not you pushing her to take over the business or anything like that.
No.
And dude, I've seen, and Ivan and I, and even Jay and I have really gone deep down, especially Ivan, with the studies on how it affects brain, affects the way that we see the world. And the biggest change that I've ever seen, bro, was I had a guy that did a few tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was not the same. And he was a severe alcoholic, and he was on death's door.
Yes.
And he went down to Mexico and he did that ibogaine.
Yes.
And he came back, dude. He's never touched alcohol again. He's a totally changed guy.
Yeah, I've seen it plenty of times too. As a matter of fact, I met someone not too long ago that really struggled from being in the war and stuff, and the mushroom stuff. It was
Psilocybin.
changes life,
Yep.
life, like really, like a completely different microdosing with that stuff just changes life. So I'm
Let
really
me know if you ever want to experience it, Larry. I got you, buddy.
man. I want to, but I'm scared to also, man. I don't.
It will
I don't-
open, dude. You feel like this gateway in your heart open up, bro, and it's amazing. Dude, let's trip balls in California together.
Oh my God, dude. I'd be so scared. I'd love to see what
I'll
it can
hold
do.
you, bro. I'll hold you. I'll stroke
Oh.
your head. You're cool, man. It's all about set and setting, and I got you. Don't you worry. one
Listen,
bit.
I tend to go a little overboard with everything I do. So that scares me, that really scares me. I got turned on to gummies and now these THC drinks. So I took a 27 milligram gummy last night and had 3 of the THC drinks. And then by the end of the night, I sit in my pantry and I eat everything I can get my hands on. I can't stop. Like I get so hungry. I just eat and eat and eat. It's terrible. It's horrible.
Dude, I can't do that. I get so uncomfortable. I'll just lay in bed just like, oh, dude, I'm going to pop. I'm going to pop. And I quit weed. I'm a quitter, remember? So
Yeah.
I just celebrated 3 years, man. But
Nice.
Yep. Well, Larry, dude, I love you. And wait, let's go. Okay. Is there any comment, dude? We had this full-on like 2-hour argument about Denise Fenzi with everybody here. Let me see. I'm looking through the comments. I want to get to the comments before. What's up, Dylan? Thanks for being here, Dylan.
There's Spencer, my buddy Spencer. The percentage of people that see it and don't get it is insane. Talking about.
Can you highlight it? Can you highlight it from your end?
No, I can't. Spencer.
Okay,
Spencer's a good guy. He's a TWC guy. Yeah, he'll tell you. The amount of people that see it and don't get it is insane, dude. Insane. Really is.
Find it. So many. Can I search the comments? We have so many.
It came up at 7:55.
Oh, okay. That's very helpful. I got a little
7:55 p.m.
7:50.
Yeah,
what, dude? I have 7:35. That's weird. Big up, Bill. He gave me a big up, but not you. Haha. Dylan loves me better. Okay, dude, where is this freaking thing?
7:55 p.m. The Spencer Paloonie.
How is it, dude? It's 7:38 p.m. here. So, wait, do the time. So you're at, what time is it there now?
9:38. You're 2 hours behind me. Yeah.
Dude, I can't.
So I don't know if that's showing your time or my time.
It's got to be showing your time.
Yeah, because we started at 7 my time.
We started at 8 your time, right?
No, 7 my time.
So 7:55. So 55. So it should be around 5:55. Let's see here. And look for other comments, even though
it should be 5:55. Dude, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, right at the beginning here. I appreciate all you guys. And what does this say? I appreciate all of you guys for what you do and the way you put dogs first. I'm wrong to be discouraged that dog trainers don't understand this. Yep.
No, I get you, buddy.
The vast majority of dog trainers don't. How can we transfer this skill to the owners that need it?
You'd be surprised, Lance, because a lot of owners aren't tainted, so a lot of them get it easier than the dog trainers. Because the dog trainers have been so groomed to believe something that is wrong, right? It's hard to break those habits and change the minds. But dog owners, they're fresh. And when you explain it to them in a way that makes sense to them, and more importantly, show it. Look, the video I posted of Nix, the female German Shepherd, a few weeks ago, do you know how valuable that was for her owners to see that?
Priceless.
You know how many times you show someone in person and they go, oh, shit, I wasn't doing anything like that. I'm like, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. So that's very, very important, too. Where'd Bill go?
Here he is, dude. This is my 19-year-old. He just come wandering in here.
Holy jeez. Oh, my God. Look at that fella. Good for him. He's like, let me die already, asshole. I'm freaking exhausted.
He's just wandering around aimlessly. Just came back in. So yeah, they're used to seeing, and not only that, but like new dog trainers. When like I went to Napopo and I was like, dude, I wish I knew this stuff when I was just starting. I wish. There's certain things that, we build up this little blocks of beliefs until it becomes a fortress that it's hard to let anything else in under or beyond that. Negligence is negligence everywhere, all fucking day.
That's right.
Amen. The punishment must always come after you condition the worker. What?
I
don't know. Best
Lauren, you speak English, Lauren?
The best way I can describe punishment at this point, probably better ways to say it, but the way I understand it, punishment is an inescapable chain of events starting with the marker no.
That's a good way.
Yep.
You got the video I sent you today, right, Kate? Inescapable. That's a good way it is inescapable. Most people turn a punishment event into a negative reinforcement event very quickly, right? Letting the dog believe that it just created, like for example, the simple example I give, dog's popping off, you mark it with a no, give a few quick pops, and the dog stops, right? But it's still staring at the dog to say, hey, follow through. Enough. Couple of pops. Now the dog turns and gives you that nice eye contact that everybody wants. What do you do there? Oh, I mark and reward that. Well, of course you do. And that's why you fucking suck, right? Now you just allow the dog to believe, oh, it's the eye contact. That's what got me out of this. Now you just take the opportunity to punish that behavior and get rid of it, and you allowed it to turn into a negative reinforcement event. Now the dog believes it still got out of it. Oh, it was the eye contact. As to where if you follow through a little further, I can almost guarantee you're going to get a sit or a down out of the dog. It's amazing when you could tell this is what the dog's going to do now, because it's going to rifle through everything it knows that's always worked before and getting it out of the situation. And when people could start watching the dog and how it manipulates trying to get out of it, they're like, holy shit, that was wild just now. And there's different ways to accomplish that. It could look vastly different in many different ways, but the formula is the same. You mark and interrupt the progression of the behavior, right? Create a little social pressure or separation, then punish, then reconcile. The formula stays the same, but you could apply it in so many different ways. And I never even used to give that much out because I'm very respectful of this stuff, right? But more and more people are showing it and talking about it, but people still don't get it. They just don't get it, right? Because it's not easy for everyone.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but we feel like we're on a timetable where we need to allow this to unfold and allow that dog to make those choices that they're going to make. And if they make the wrong choice, they need to learn that.
Well, the punishing, the thought and the look and the loading and the locking and it's fucking insanity, man. Like, you have to allow the dog to make that decision, because you know how many times they're going to stop right at the end and make the right choice, but you didn't give them a chance to. The reason I use the example of Jay in the bike suit with the Rottweiler at one of our seminars, it's a perfect example. This was a legit dog, right? For most people seeing this dog, they're like, fuck, this dog's serious. And he did appear that way. But once we put Jay in the bite suit and he hung out against the wall in a non-threatening way, and that dog was free to come in without being restricted, no muzzle, he came in hard, dude. He came in real hard. Started a real serious bark and hold, and then at one point even nailed Jay with his muzzle, his real muzzle, not a fake muzzle, right? But never put teeth on him. Now think about if Jay is not in a suit and that dog's in a muzzle. What do you say? Muzzle saved us. That's a bite. Put that dog down. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. But guess what? He never put teeth on him. And by the second session, he was handling him and touching him and petting him. This was a legit dog by first glance. In reality, that dog didn't want to put his teeth on anyone. So what do you tell someone like that? This dog does nothing. You make no decisions. He stays in the crate. You take him out. You keep him on a leash. You don't play with this dog. He doesn't bite things. You do nothing. Fuck you. Fuck you. Right? You shouldn't be training dogs like this because you don't have the ability or the knowledge. You don't. That's bad advice that people get over and over and over. And now some of these dogs that are in situations like that are fucking thriving. And these people post videos of these dogs running off leash around other dogs, around other people, having the time of their life. Why?
That's right.
Why? You understand? Because we didn't do what you do. It's that simple. That simple, you know?
Yep.
And I'll never stop. I'll never stop screaming that from the top of the mountain. People will watch this after the fact because they don't want us to see them on. So they'll watch the recorded version, not the live version. I'm talking about you that watch this later on. So you don't want me to see your name pop up on here and see what I say about punishment. You fucking scammers. I see you. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Me too. Fuck you. Well, the dog finds out, dude. The dog finds out that it's not going to get him what he wants, and he's used to coming in there back acting all macho, and the world reacting to his reactive behavior.
When you take away his best tool, that's very powerful.
That's right. And realize and give him a choice to be like, dude, just be fucking cool, man. Just be cool. We're all here together. We're having a good time. You don't need to be like this. Not supporting Dylan. You froze. There you are. That's it. He just brought to the front of the world of dog training. Yep. That's right, Ryan. And let me see all these about Denise. Dog trainers and dog understanders. The world, very few dog understanders. Yep. Thanks for putting this up, Bow Wow Bob. Dude, I own bowwowbob.com because of that reason. It's not
Joel.
anymore. It's Bob. No, thanks, Joel.
Fucking Joel.
Bill by day, Bob by night. Let me see. Remember when you took Lursa from me and punished her? Blew my mind how easy you were on her and how easy it was for you to get her to stop completely. This is why it's liberating, you guys. This is not hard to let the dog do. To let the dog make a choice, to let the dog experience the consequences of their choice, and to let the dog, and to reconcile, like Larry says, like, dude, just because I got on you doesn't mean that I don't love you. Now knock that shit off.
Well, you see, Bill, I had a guy, an online client, that refused to reconcile with his dog. Refused. He said, I'm not going to give my dog affection when it doesn't. I said, you're missing the point. You're not giving your dog affection. First of all, it's very mild, very sincere, but you're allowing the dog to know that's done. It's in the past. Now we're back to the beginning. We're back to baseline. We're starting over. I'm going to give you another chance. He refused to. Instead, he would put the dog in the crate. And then later, when he would take the dog out of the crate, the dog would walk around on pins and needles, like head down, not knowing where it stood with him, right? So finally, he let me convince him, listen, reconcile with this dog, let him know it's good, right? And he did. And then he put it in the crate. And then when he took the dog out, the dog was fine. It knew exactly where it stood, right? But he was leaving that dog hanging, not knowing what to expect. That's a problem.
That's not clarity. That's not communication. Right. That's open-endedness. That is, assumption. Bob the trainer. Stop it, you guys. My name's Bill, damn it. Watch from Vancouver. We got people from Vancouver, people from, Bob. Everybody's coming. We got people from New Zealand. You guys, I love seeing everybody where you're from. Yeah. So just if you got a second, just type where you're watching this from. We reach all over the world. It's pretty cool. I've even had people from China. I don't know how the hell. I didn't think that they allowed American stuff in there. As far as management strategy, can we fix the dog? Yes, we can. That's one of the things that I love about your website, Lair, is I can fix your dog. Like I can do this. I like making bite suits feel safe. I'd rather use a bite suit than a muzzle. I've had dogs like an old Charka that use both. Do you ever use muzzles, Lair?
Rarely. So I used the muzzle recently because the owner had one on a seminar again in New York. This was a dog that I guess is on Jay's Patreon channel, and he's done a phenomenal job with this Malinois, pretty serious dog. And so the girl said, listen, he has seen that picture now. He's doing really well. He's come real far. I want to see what happens when you take him, but I don't want you to wear a bite suit. I want to see how legit he could be like without it. So use the muzzle, right? And he took a couple of swipes at me, but she was so good in addressing it that when she punished that dog, the people went, oh, I see what you mean now about being sincere. She was very, very good, right? But you know when that dog changed? When I took the leash from her and he wanted to fight me, I didn't fight him back, right? I just told her, okay, go. I separated her completely out of the room, leave. That became the punishment, right?
Totally.
Once she left and stayed out a few minutes, now he wasn't a tough guy anymore.
That's right.
He was like, holy shit, what do I do? I said, come here, buddy. And I let him know, hey, we're good. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to do anything bad to you, right? I was able to touch him. And he was like, oh, shit, I didn't die. And when he didn't give me the bad reaction, I told her, come on back in and take your dog. And he was like, holy shit, thank God. That was fucking horrible, right? That became the punishment. Not nailing him on an e-collar or a prong collar or kicking his ass. Jay's already done the hard work there, right? Now she wanted to show him different pictures because she's very intelligent. By the way, another TWC trainer, doing good stuff, doing the right thing, looking for different pictures, different perspectives to really make a serious dog. How do we get him completely under control? It was awesome. It was great to work with. It really was, but it was good for people to see how you could take different approaches to those situations.
Love it. Luke says that his mom can walk Lursa now. Dogs
That's
growl at
awesome,
her and
Luke.
try to pick
Good for you,
fights,
buddy.
and she does nothing. Good job.
You've been a really hard worker, Luke. Proud of you, buddy. Really proud.
Yeah.
And I know I'm hard on you sometimes, but I am because I knew you can get there. I did. I wanted you to believe in yourself a little bit.
Elcon says 1 year ago, I was listening to Dylan. He said, Jay and Larry told me to go to TWC, and I did. That was the time I decided to start that school. I trusted you, Jay, and Dylan's advice, and that was the best decision.
Nice. Good for you, buddy. That's awesome.
I tried. I hope to attend the school as well. And I've talked to Ivan and gotten clearance and everything with that. I just need to bring the budget for it. After getting nailed by the IRS,
do it.
Wait just a little bit longer. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait. And just talking to Ivan and the way that he explains stuff, and dude, I just know that he has the betterment of the dogs in mind, and I fucking love that, dude. Like, because he said things that I'm like, man, I've never heard that before. I've never heard.
I'm going to say this again, and I've said this before, and people don't believe me. When people think of Ivan, they think of his brilliance in the sport dog world, right? I'm telling you, in my opinion, I believe he's better on the behavioral side of things. Like God's honest truth. And that's why if you're dealing with behavioral cases, it's a must for you. It's that simple. It's going to give you such an advantage over people that haven't done it. And I don't sugarcoat things. I don't bullshit. I don't get kickbacks from this. I have sent so many people through that school. It's not even funny, right? Because when I believe in something, I'm going to share it. It's that simple.
Yeah. And it's truth. It's the truth.
Sure.
There's a reason my tagline is train smart, train with purpose. Excellent. Sorry, Bill, I didn't know the can of worms I was opening, but my feelings about this are strong. It's all good, Jennifer. I love you. It's all whatever. You guys have your argument in the comments.
What Jennifer say?
Dawson. She was just saying because of they were arguing about Denise and her car, and she's I don't know if she's friends with Denise or what, but you know. And it's a tragedy that Denise lost her dog, and I'm very, very sorry about that.
I don't know which else she said, you know.
It's just that she, or I don't know about, you know, what I think she just, I don't know either. Here, let me see back here. Yeah, she was absolutely not. First trainer could be useful. FOMO. He couldn't.
Well, that's where I have to disagree with you, Jennifer. You know, like you don't use a car
that's
training.
where I disagree too. Let me read this because some people listen to it on. So if you're listening and not watching the video, Jennifer says that she was talking about Denise Fency. She's absolutely not the first trainer I've seen use that as a management technique. It could be useful if you need a dog to learn to settle in a crate, but the FOMO is so bad it cries every time it hears a pin drop. I know balance trainers that use this when they want to train client dogs. Clicking, praising, coming from the other room. E-collar can deal with. We know she's trying everything. Anytime that I would use my car as a training tool is like when I'm right there in the side of my car. Like I see all my cars right here outside here. And I would just use it to rotate a dog or something like that. That's the only time I can think about it. And I thought about this for a bit because it was it was pretty on fire, and it's in the comments here. But I agree. I don't use my
I
car.
don't know the story, so I haven't participated in any of that on either side. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
It's not my fight. I don't know what's going on there. I don't care. I'm not part of it. I haven't participated in any of that.
I just know that as far as a dog dying in a hot car, that's fucking horrible.
Brutal.
That's a brutal
that breaks
death.
my heart because no dog should ever experience that. And it
got
happens too often, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got, dude. Okay, now everybody's coming where they're from. If I didn't get to your comments, you guys, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many of them. So thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. We have people from Germany, Tennessee, Ohio, North Dakota, Tennessee, West Virginia, Maryland, Iowa, Illinois, Utah, Kentucky. Dang, that Kentucky place, man. That's no, just kidding. My wife's in Kentucky right now, actually, and New York. I'm big on letting. So this will be my last. Yeah, not everybody knows this. Oh, whoops, Singapore. We got Jeffrey. What's up, Jeffrey? I met him at the last conference. Good to see you here, buddy. Almost no one knows the story, Larry. That's so true. Absolutely. I mean, regardless, it's something that I have a hard time reconciling for myself because I don't use the car as a training tool, and not only that, but if my dog's being an idiot in the crate, I'm gonna fucking deal with it, dude. And that's it. Like the dog's gonna stop barking, and if you don't have a way to deal with that, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You know,
listen, these weird things can happen real quick with these dogs. You know, I don't use a lot of prong collars. I just never have. It's a great tool. I just haven't used a lot. Yeah. I had one on Dante a while back when I first started using them, just to prove to someone asked me, hey, could you start using some prong collars? People will think you're anti. I said, sure. And so I bring Dante in the house after working him. And I know not to put a dog in a crate with a prong collar on, but to be totally open with your crowd here, I was about to shit my pants. I had to get in the house. So I threw Dante in the crate. I used the bathroom. I was 5 minutes. And when I go back outside, he must have had been spinning in the crate, got the prong collar hooked on the wire crate and was stuck and bent it trying to get out and was panicking. And dude, I couldn't get him off. Like it was really, really difficult. I had to bend the crate and everything and like just go savage mode to get him loose. I was scared to death. That was 5 minutes. That's how quick these dogs, especially high drive dogs, can get into trouble. You know what I mean? That's not something I do. I've never done that in my life. I would never do that. So look at the video I posted with him with the ball. Thank God there was a rope on that ball. Swallowed it that quick. What happens if the rope's not on the ball? He's dead. Like he's dead. You know
that's how Oprah Winfrey's dog died.
For real?
Yeah, one of her Goldies had a slick ball, and it got like a racket ball or whatever, got stuck dead. Yeah, it happens. The rope is very important. I owe my dog. If I don't, then I have a textured ball or a ball that the dog won't fit down that dog. I have little dogs, so I just use regular tennis balls. And the other thing that I have here, Larry. And whenever I walk through, if I ever have an apprentice or somebody I always walk them through my facility and I show them the protocols that we need for emergencies. I show them where the catch pole is. So I have a dog training or a dog catcher catch pole just to fucking in case. I've never had to use it. Yeah. Almost on a cat once that was stuck in a tree. And then the other thing that I have is bolt cutters that are up hanging on the wall.
That's a good idea, actually.
I say, here's where the fire extinguisher is. Here's where the catch pole is. Here's where the bolt cutters are. And it just because I've seen a dog's play, and one dog got his jaw trapped underneath and started spinning and had his
crazy.
Broke his, like, just shit that can happen. I seen a dog was sleeping on the deck, got his collar tag in the slit between the boards, and it went sideways, and the dog fucking almost like choked himself out, stuck on the deck.
Dude, Frankie jumped out of my truck the other day at the seminar in South Dakota, and one of his front legs went in the pocket of my sweatpants, and he got hung up. Almost got like really in a bad position. Thank God I was able to catch him, because if he would have hit the ground, he would have twisted his leg was stuck in my pocket. How fucking weird is that and freaky, right? Like, what the fuck, man?
The shit just happens, you guys. And so expect the worst, but be prepared for the best, but expect the worst. And same thing, like, dude, that's why I carry a gun everywhere. You know, I have my concealed carry. I've never had to pull it, dude. And you as a federal agent, you know, it's just, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it ever. Right. Where can I learn more about Ivan's school? Let me show you. I'll post up a link, Google TWC, or I'll post up a link to his school right here, trainingwithoutconflict.com. And then I can actually show you. This is what it looks like, Mr. Sexy Ivan. There he is. So this is it. And then you do, he also has other, this is a nice site, man. He also has some other video schools and stuff like that. You can have videos where you can purchase some stuff that will help intro to leash puppy, raising great puppies, all this stuff, man. He's got a wealth of content, you guys, and that's how you get to it. So, all right, you guys, do you carry first aid kit? Yep, absolutely, I do. And it has a tourniquet. I have a tourniquet in my first aid kit. I have a gauze, what do you call it, bleed stop or whatever. And there's also, it's a good, dude, there's a sling that you can carry for your dog. Because I had an older dog. We used to do these huge hikes, and this older dog just fucking collapsed and could not move. And we were like 3 miles in the backcountry. And so we actually made a sling, but there's a sling that you can wear as a backpack.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of things that you can do to prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
All right, Larry. Well, you stay there, you sexy man. I'm going to say goodbye to you in the studio, but we'll say goodbye. Look at my tattoos too. Here, I got one down here. I don't know if you can see my belly.
So bright. Why are you so opaque?
I know. I should show you my beating heart, the blue beating heart, organs. Like a frog, dude. All right, bye everybody. Hey, thank you. Share this, and if you're watching after the fact, and what did you say? One of those fake ass.
Yeah, they're gonna come on and watch after the fact because they don't want me to see them on here live, little bitches. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
All right, we're out. Peace out.